Oink.
very rarely does someone go to rehab once.
Yeah.
You know, the most successful former alcoholic that I knew, he never went to rehab. He never did anything. He never went to a 12-step program. He crashed his car under a bridge. He got chased by the cops. He got arrested. He's like, "Fuck, I'm done," and he just quit. He just
Yeah.
quit. And he was a lifelong alcoholic.
Yeah. It's so nuts.
Yeah, it's like
Well, and
it
all those,
doesn't
I
work.
mean,
It can
psychedelics
help
have
you
such a
safely.
huge place. And to me, all of this falls under one giant overarching theme: medical right to choose. I don't think that the federal government should be shutting down people's ability, especially with compassionate use, like somebody who's terminally ill or who has nothing to lose. Why would you stop
Oink.
them from using peptides? Why would you stop them from using stem cells?
Oink,
Why would
oink.
you stop them from using psychedelics? I asked,
Of course, but that's just. I mean, let's not wait until they're almost dead.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
we could get, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
for terminally ill people, let's not wait for that.
And in the data on mushrooms and psilocybin and its effects on depression astronomically show more compelling data than anything you're going to see in an SSRI or antidepressant
Not
study.
only that, it doesn't kill you at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
It like literally doesn't kill you. Like the LD50 for mushrooms, you physically can't consume enough to kill half the population.
Yeah.
You know, LD50 for people who don't know, the lethal dose, 50% of the people that test. So you know, like if you give strychnine to 100 people, pretty much 100 people are going to die.
And that's where I'm excited because I do know. And then Secretary Kennedy did say, please resonate for me that I believe in Americans' right to choose and control their healthcare journey. And I am a proponent of peptides, stem cells, hyperbaric.
Yeah. And this is why you see all these fucking
psychedelics.
political hacks that are online saying he's dangerous.
Yeah.
This is why all these people are like tweeting and retweeting this stuff and thinking they're. Some of them, I think, thinking they're being a good person. Some of them are classically educated, you know, and they really don't pay attention to anything outside of mainstream news, and they're lost, and they think that they're doing the right thing while also playing ball.
Did you see Huberman on Bill Maher?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, did you see where Bill Maher asked him? I think about 20% of what this is Bill Maher saying, he thinks about, most Americans think 90% of what we're told in healthcare is right. Bill says, I think it's about 20. And he looks at Huberman and says, what do you think? And he said, 10. And then he talked about his buddy, who's a high professor at Stanford, said at minimal, 60% of what we've been taught is wrong.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem is also textbooks don't get updated. They don't get updated to. There's always new studies that come out. There's always new information that comes out. If you wrote a textbook 3 years ago, like that thing is probably not good anymore when it comes in certain disciplines.
Well, and look at all the botched studies. Like you and I've covered testosterone and how that was a study in the 1930s that was debunked. Then you had the Women's Health Initiative, which scared the hell out of women from estrogen and hormone replacement therapy, which led to them now getting on products that cause a cascade effect of other health issues. Even if you look at, we covered depression, but now go to statins. Guess who created the screening tools?
Yes, and who raised the threshold?
It was all big pharma. And then you go to osteoporosis and osteopenia. 9 out of the 10 folks who decided that were consultants for industry. Industry, including Merck, who made Fosamax, which was an osteoporosis medication. Over and over and over again. We can systematically go through every element of healthcare and break down how that system was captured and corrupted. And I'm not saying doctors are bad. Doctors are doing their best to navigate a system. They're being taught in school systems that were built in this ecosystem, and they look at it and go, there's even another person at the FDA that in a blog that they do talked about how basically preventative care is bullshit and that the only way is medicine. And I'm like, if these are the people that are going to be controlling our accessibility and our healthcare system, it's terrifying.
Well, that's Peter Hotez, right? Like, if you follow him online, and I'm not picking on you, but
you should. He says you're a bully, but then he tweeted when.
Said I'm a bully?
He said that stuff on X and stuff in the past. He tweeted
because I was trying to get him to have a debate.
Yeah, and then he tweeted after we testified an image of like a 1950s Batman characters and was like, "This is who came in front of Congress to testify." And I saw that, and I'm like all the Joker and the Penguin and all this. I'm like,
he tweeted that?
Yeah, and I was thinking, you're the one that looks like the Penguin. What are you talking about? I'm not taking any advice from you.
So when I exposed him on the show, when I had that conversation with him about his own personal life, that was probably the most telling thing that he's ever been involved with. Because people got a chance to see, oh, these are the people that are telling you you have to take this medication. People that eat junk food, that don't work out, that are overweight, and, generally unhealthy. Don't take vitamins.
It's funny, you just triggered this thought. When I was testifying, that's exactly what you're talking about. When I was testifying at the state level, okay, to remove ultra-processed foods and Cokes and soft drinks from food stamps. Because a large percentage of the money of our food stamps are spent on ultra-processed foods that are poisoning systematically these poverty-stricken communities. Yeah. We're just trying to reallocate the resources and change school lunches and mandate PE and mandate nutritional training and mandate that your doctor has to have nutritional training and mandate that in elementary school through junior high, you get nutritional training. That's what these bills were about. Okay. While I'm in the middle of trying to explain to congressmen and congresswomen how detrimental a soft drink is, because they don't know. I'm trying to just say, look, the difference between a very chronically ill diabetic patient and a healthy patient is literally about a teaspoon of sugar in the bloodstream. Do you know how many teaspoons of sugar are in a Coke? And as I'm in the middle of trying to say it, one of the congresswomen holds her Coke up in the microphone.
For effect.
And drinks her Coke.
Wow.
And everyone just busts out laughing. But I'm like, okay, well the answer is 8 to 12 teaspoons of sugar. And you're giving it to a child. You're giving a child 8 to 12 teaspoons of sugar at a time. And then you're wondering why our children are obese. You're wondering why over 70% of Americans are obese. You're wondering why diabetes is at an all-time high.
Or why they failed the ADHD test that I took.
Yeah.
Did I fail?
Yeah, well, you didn't fail, but you do need to be checked out a little further.
There you go. Now imagine if I had a job that sucked.
Yeah.
So if I had a job that sucked, I bet I would have answered very often to most of the ones I was like, nah, those don't apply.
Yeah.
So then I would need ADHD medication.
Dang it.
Yeah. I told you this on the very first podcast. I'm not splitting atoms on the weekends, man. I failed kindergarten. I'm literally dyslexic. I'm ADHD. They wanted me on Ritalin. My parents were like, we don't want to put him on Ritalin. They said he's got to go to pre-first. I was in a class with kids with helmets. Dude, like, I kid you not. I didn't go to first grade. I went to pre-first. They thought I was mentally handicapped. And I'm like, sitting in there like, oh, man, this sucks. I remember to this day, I was like, I don't belong in here. Like, but I just didn't fit in that ecosystem. I'm sure I was hyper. I'm a fucking kid. Of course I'm hyper now, and I'm a grown man. I can't sit still.
I have a new puppy. And when you have a puppy, you realize, like, oh, this is what kids are like. Like, this puppy is insane. So I have Marshall, who's out here too. So Marshall's almost 9, and Marshall's really chill. I mean, he's got plenty of energy, super healthy, runs around, gets a lot of exercise in. But this fucking puppy is off the rails. Videos of them playing. Like, Marshall will pick up a toy, and then, like, Charlie would come over and try to grab the toy. He's leaping at him, throwing himself through the air, diving underneath him, biting his face, they're rolling around. He's insane. He can't sit down. And then he crashes, then he wakes up, he pisses and shits, and then he wants to eat, and then he wants to go at it again. Take that, stick it in a classroom.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing with kids. Kids are basically human puppies, and we're making them sit in these fucking classes. And some of them, guess what, have more fucking energy than the other ones. And they're more active, and they're more physical, just like dogs, just like every other animal, every other organism. And those ones will probably do great things if they find something that interests them, because they have more energy, and because they can blow off all the shit that doesn't mean anything to them. Which is like a lot of the obligations weigh you down and take away your effectiveness of the thing that you actually enjoy. If you have a bunch of things
Wait, what?
you're concentrating all of your time on that are basically bullshit, the thing
Oh,
that's
man.
important to you, you don't have any resources to allocate to fix that thing, so you're going to be less effective at it. Yeah. Whereas a retard like me can just fucking laser beam on things, and I could just ignore I'll throw my clothes on the ground. I don't give a fuck, dude. I could live in a cave, and I could just like lock down. But that's how you succeed.
I would have to hyper focus. Like, if it's something I'm interested in, it's easy. I can hyper focus. I can retain. I have good data recall.
If it's something you're interested in.
If it's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and it's some mundane
Bueller.
It's torture, man. And I can't sit still in this environment.
But that's why you're successful. This is what people don't understand. That's a superpower.
But I know for sure I would have anxiety if I didn't work out. I have anxiety. Like when we were in Europe and I didn't work out, day 3, I'm like restless, man. And that anxiousness comes out. And
to me, that's like going somewhere and not eating. I'm not going to do that either.
Yeah.
Like, if I go on vacation, I literally bring kettlebells, 270s and 250s. They travel with me.
You put them in a suitcase?
I get them
Oh
there.
my God,
I ship them to where I'm going. I have them delivered. I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm working out because I have
think
a problem.
Cam Sane said he did that with that rock. I swear he told me a story. He fucking packed that rock that he has people carry.
Cam did that?
Yeah, for something. I remember him telling that
sure
story, and I think it got lost.
He keeps that rock on the mountain, and I'm like, don't you worry, someone's gonna be a fan of take it? It's like, no, the kind of person who would take it is too much of a pussy to carry it.
Oh my God, that's.
It's so hilarious. This fucking rock they carried everywhere. But you know, you have to stay healthy. And for me, that's my medicine. I'm not if I was a diabetic.
But didn't I just grab them?
Insulin. Well, guess what? You're a type 1 diabetic. If you don't take insulin, you're gonna fucking die. Right? Unfortunately, you got bad genes when it comes to the creation of insulin. But that's how I am with exercise, man. Like, I'm doing it. If I take a day off, I'm a maniac. I don't like it. I don't like that feeling. I mean, I can take a day off. I can relax. But day 2? Day 2 is like, but it's also my brain. It's like, hey, what are you doing? You gonna be a lazy fuck now? Is that what you're doing? You're gonna be a fat pussy?
But just that hyper focus and going through a workout, and then you come out the other end, and it's mental. It's a huge mental relief.
Gigantic. And,
like,
it's
my
good
anxiety
for
goes from an 8, it's creeping up. Now it's an 8, and then I go work out, and it'll be at a 2.
Exactly. And it's good for everybody. Listen, the nicest people that I know do jujitsu, and I know that sounds crazy. The nicest people that I know are like regularly yanking on people's elbow joints and fucking tackling them. Then they're the nicest people I know. And the reason why they're nice is because they take their fucking medicine. They take their anti-aggressive medicine. Like, the idea that somehow is bad and like what we need to do is eliminate all masculinity. No, you need to harness it, just like everything else. I mean, this is just like the same response that we had to we had 3 Mile Island. Stop the nukes! No more nukes! We've got a problem. No, figure out how to harness it. We were really bad at gasoline in the 70s. We put fucking lead in it, and that's why everybody got lead poisoning. And then we had to come up with unleaded gasoline, which is just, don't add lead to it, you fucking assholes. Don't burn lead and blast it through the air everywhere you go.
Oh! I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Just like we have to figure out how to harness masculinity.
I think we're gonna. You brought up lead, and I wanted to get into the state of Texas stuff, but which parallels and runs into the glyphosate shit. If you want to talk about that, do you want?
I would love to talk about that.
Because one of the things that's happening.
I know that they've got an alternative to glyphosate that's even worse.
Yeah, they do. And so one of the things that's happening is, at the federal level, they are looking to give big ag and big chemical immunity on all these chemicals they're spraying on our food.
We're back again. Sorry.
This is another fuckery moment as part of one of the bills that's being reviewed by Congress.
Thanks to you.
They are attempting to vote in secrecy when we don't know who cast their vote to cast unified immunity on any future lawsuit against glyphosate or atrazine.
And we know how well that worked for vaccine manufacturers, so maybe we should try it.
Yeah, exactly. And we do know, let's point this out, that the company Monsanto that manufactures glyphosate is the same company that created Agent Orange, is the same
What a
company that
big
created
difference.
is the same company that, with Bayer, tested their products on Nazi concentration camp victims, is the same company that pushed product into third world nations where they didn't have checks and balances and couldn't come after them.
So let's just stop right there. If Satan was the CEO, don't you think he'd be the head of that company?
Oh my God.
Could you imagine? But if, like you said, well, there's a company in the world
Unlock
Satan
phase
is the
2
CEO.
scenario.
What company do you think that would be? And then you had all this evidence. You lay it out. You're like, oh my God, Satan's alive. He's real. He's killing people with Agent Orange.
Yeah. And what's crazy is in
After
Europe,
Anchor
in
once?
Europe, allowable amount of glyphosate is literally almost 1/4 of what they're allowing in the United States. And so
Where's the
farmers and the lobbyist groups here in the state
done
of
it?
Texas, when we tried
Done
to
it.
pass this food bill, okay,
Done it.
we shocked industry because candidly, it was the land of misfit toys. It's literally me, and I don't mean that derogatory, but it's just a bunch of average Joes testifying against lobbyists. And so it was me, an 18-year-old girl named Grace, who's a food advocate, my buddy Jason Karp, who owns like a food company, and then Dr. Hyman in the initial testimonies.
Hold up. There's an 18-year-old girl that's testifying?
Yeah.
She's a food expert?
She's a food advocate because she has been able to cure, I don't know her exact story, but she's brilliant.
So she's the Greta Thunberg of food?
Yeah, pretty much. But she's a brilliant girl because she was able to cure chronic illness through no longer eating ultra-processed foods. And so now she's
Same here.
an advocate for these things.
Do you know what illnesses she had?
I don't remember. I don't want to say. Her name's Grace Price. If you,
and she's only 18. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She killed it. But here's what happens: we go to testify. Who shows up? You expose this. I think I texted you about it, and then you talked about it on the podcast. The American Heart Association came to testify against us because they didn't want Coke and Twinkies and soft drinks and ultra-processed foods removed from school lunches, SNAP programs.
But listen, thank God they're around to set everybody on the right path. Thank God the American Heart Association is there to stand up for Twinkies and Coca-Cola, which, by the way, I enjoy. I mean, if I could just have a day where I didn't think about my health at all, I would love a nice glass of Coca-Cola with a few Twinkies.
Yeah.
They're fucking delicious. But I know if I did that an hour later, I would want to die. I would feel so bad. And when I do that now, this is the thing that every now and then I will fuck off and like eat an ice cream sundae, and I feel so bad that I go, how many people feel like this all the time?
Exactly.
How many people this is their
What the fuck?
And then you add it to a non-robust body. So you add it to a body that's been sedentary, been eating this stuff forever, so you have this constant cascading effect of inflammation. You're fat, your back hurts, your head, you got brain fog. All day long you're dealing with this, and that's your default. So what happens to me for a very brief amount of time, where if I drink a milkshake, I'm like, oh, I feel like shit. That's their whole life.
Yeah.
And
You're
then
describing my dad. My dad is in that system where he literally just, I love him, but he believes in all this bullshit that he's told. He goes to the doctor and they say, you know, historically, this is when he was younger, he'd be on 4 or 5 meds and they'd go, oh, everything's good, everything checked out good, and he'd come back and be like, yeah, doctor said everything's good. You're on 6 meds, dude. What do you mean everything's good? You're on 6 fucking medications. My dad is now on 12 prescription medications and ended up in the hospital last weekend because of contraindications in the drugs. The third leading cause of death in America is medical misdiagnosis. And I'm like, Dad, come in. We can do a full workup. We can do all these things. Yo, fucking listen.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents take vitamins now.
And it's like,
yeah, it's weird, man. People don't want to listen to their kids, and they don't want to change the path that they're on. Because then they have to admit that their whole life has been kind of stupid. People don't want to admit that. They don't want to admit that they're a buffoon. People they cling so hard to their identity of being correct.
Yeah.
It's too much of what you think of when you think of yourself. It's a choice you make when you think about things.
And that's where industry's done a killer job, though, Joe.
I know, but for people that are listening to this, if you find yourself in that little category, really that's the weakness. The weakness is not in admitting that you're wrong exposes that you were wrong, and that's weakness. No, the real weakness is not being able to admit that you're wrong. That's the real weakness, because then look, everybody's wrong sometimes. Everybody does something wrong sometimes. It's part of being a human. Our brains it depends entirely on the interactions that you've had.
Oh shit, I have no more ammo.
Taxes you owe that you don't think you're going to be able to pay, your credit card statements, your fucking your wife hates you, you think your friend might be fucking doing something shady in this business deal that you guys got together. You're all fucking stressed out all the time. Yeah. That's most of us. People in these conditions are going to make mistakes. You're going to not look at data that you assumed was correct, and you're going to argue for something that was wrong. And we found this a lot during the COVID days. It was really hard for people that got shitty with me to come around and admit, like, oh, you kind of had a point. There's a few of them that I lost forever, and that have never admitted that they were wrong, never admitted that this whole thing was like they get caught up in a psyop. But that,
you've referred me, not just you, just in general, people hearing this. We have helped so many fucking people with long COVID, vaccine-related COVID.
yeah, let's call it long
Right.
COVID. I don't know
But
anybody with long COVID that wasn't vaccinated.
One of the
Do you?
people you no, I honestly don't.
No,
and
I
one
don't
of the
know
people you referred us, who's like a mega star. I didn't get his permission to talk about his, but so I won't say his name. But he literally sent me a long email saying thank you.
He's the best,
Thank you.
isn't he?
Like
He's a
he said
real
his
human.
voice, everything is back. Like he's been complimented. He's like, I just cannot thank you and your team.
I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
I wish we could say
He's
his
awesome.
name too,
I know.
because we can't.
But I did.
but he's
Jelly
a-
Roll's like, tell my story, man. Jelly Roll's like, tell
Jelly
it.
Roll's a man.
He's
the
down
man.
200 pounds, and not on a GLP-1.
It's
I want to be
amazing.
clear.
Yeah.
He is not on a GLP-1. Jelly Roll, when we met with him, he said, Bubba, I don't want an asterisk next to this.
Yeah, he also
That dude-
threw his phone away.
Yeah.
He don't have a phone anymore. He's got an
He
his
calls me from
assistant.
his laptop.
Isn't that
Yeah,
amazing?
he'll FaceTime me
But
from his
no,
laptop.
that's the way to be healthy. It's real,
Yeah.
man. You know,
Yeah.
if you can, that's another thing that people need to take into consideration when you're talking about mental health. As much as social media is really valuable, I would never advocate for a ban on social media. I think it's really valuable. It's also really bad for you. And it's really bad for you if you are interacting with nameless, faceless people and they're being negative to you. You're being negative to them, and you're arguing about climate or fucking.
I'm a nobody. I don't have hardly any, and I don't even use it anymore other than for work because of the political stuff. People are like, you cook. Da, 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 da. They just start attacking you, and I'll see that. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you the truth, man. I get it. You don't like what I have to say, but I'm not lying. I mean, tell me where I'm lying. I'm documenting everything. I have the receipts.
Yeah, no, I get it too. What's really funny is when people get mad at you if you criticize the administration. Like, well, this is what you voted for. Like, no, listen, fuckface. Nobody voted for people. No, maybe a few people thought that like some of the ideas, the way they're doing it, where they're showing up at Home Depot and just getting hardworking landscapers and just sending them back to Mexico. Ed Calderon, who's an expert in cartels, who was on the other day, he was explaining to me that they're getting kids that were brought over here when they were 2, and they've been here for 18 years. So now they're 20, and they don't speak Spanish, but they're deporting them.
Well, and that's my thing. You can't
fucking
believe.
insane.
You have to be able to fucking stand your ground on individual
Right.
topics. Otherwise,
That's
you're
what I'm saying.
a
I'm
monkey.
saying nobody voted for that.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't think that they were going to do that. If they said, this is what we're going to do, all those kids that were brought over here when they were babies and been raised in America and have American friends and American jobs, we're going to send them to Mexico where they don't even speak the language.
Yeah.
Fuck, you guys are evil.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, and then what you're describing is literally the messages I get.
Right.
You fucking idiot. This is what you fought for.
Right.
Okay, I can tell you right now, Secretary Kennedy is fighting for the things that were hot button topics for me. He was. He is. That team is. And we are trying to overhaul our food system and all of these different aspects. He
How's it
doesn't
make you a
control the
cuck?
fucking EPA.
Right.
Like, I can't control if Congress, and don't get it wrong, it is Republicans and Democrats, but it's going to take both of them colluding to pass this bill that will give immunity to chemical companies. And one of the things I do want to point out, because again, line of sight, and there's so many whack-a-moles and so much shit. Donald Trump probably doesn't know this. One of the things that I've been ringing the bell with the FDA is that most of the ingredients in drugs are coming from China. And if we're worried about China and the future of our relationship with China, we probably shouldn't be allowing all of our pharmaceutical companies to buy all of their ingredients from China. But let's get into big chemicals. Glyphosate, we have banned, I don't remember the name of the Chinese company, but several states have banned this major Chinese chemical company from spraying any of our crops because we don't want Chinese chemicals sprayed on our food. Dirty little secret. What percentage of Monsanto's chemicals do you think come from China?
100%.
100%. So if you have a concern about national security. Maybe we should stop letting Monsanto fucking systematically spray our food with Chinese chemicals.
Not only that, when 94% of Americans show glyphosate in their blood, maybe we've got a little bit of an issue. Well, let's just this is like take the Stephen Colbert approach. It's such a small number, such a little amount. What are you worried about? Let's put all your faith in the experts.
Even that, there is a solution, and I don't have all the answers, but we need to rephrase the questions. We got to be able to have the discussions,
Well,
and whether we're talking
solution
about
is we have to figure out whether it's possible. You know that Putin is trying to do that with Russia?
no.
Yeah. Putin is banning use of industrial chemicals in agriculture and
Yes, he
trying to
did.
move this whole country to
It's illegal.
farming.
Well, so
I'm
what
not saying
I
he's a good
learned
guy.
from talking to this
Not
farmer,
saying he's a
Yeah.
good guy. Not saying what he did in Ukraine was great, but for his country in that regard, like when you're a dictator, one of the things that's got to be great is the ability to go, oh, these people are fucking criminals. Like, look what they're doing. Oh, they're fucking over the health of all my people. They're making it for their own profit. They're making everyone else unhealthy, and then they're gaslighting everybody, and then they're in bed with all these fucking Congress people who they pay off because they fund their re-election campaigns and they fund their super PACs.
it's so powerful, Joe.
It's so much money,
Jamie,
man.
can you pull up again? Sorry, could you pull up on the Waste to Well website? There's the Senate testimonies. It's big chemical. So where I was going earlier, so I'm so ADHD.
No, it's okay,
Well,
but
one,
where I was going
was-
is if you're a good dictator, you go, well, fuck those people.
Yeah, you can fix it.
Not that Putin's a good dictator. You have to say all these things.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
So one of the things I learned
I'm
from
not
a farmer, and I don't know farming. Obviously, I'm a healthcare guy. I had a farmer tell me that 70% of our glyphosate exposure is because of the dry harvesting. So it's in the
Dry harvesting?
Helm. We spray glyphosate apparently on the crops to dry them out faster,
Yeah.
so we can harvest them faster. But that's all in the last week. And if we didn't do that, we would reduce glyphosate exposure by 70%. So it's just and we're not
What?
on the cusp of a population boom. Our fertility rates are plummeting. Our population's declining. We're going to be headed towards a crisis. Elon's covered all of this. Jamie, there's one with it's a video, and it's if you pull it up, let's see. Oh, because I want you to hear that. Shit, I don't know which one it is. I think it's. Yeah, it's Click Organic Mist. It's either that one or the one next to it. The organic, yeah, that one. If it'll play. This is a lobbyist for Big Chemical who testified here in Texas to kill the bill. And what he's saying.
Foods than there are from people eating foods that may have had pesticides.
The truth is, industry is terrible. That what will happen is American mothers will see those labels and realizing they're poisoning their children.
Using manure for organic foods. It has to be solely manure, and that is the agent that creates dangers in organic.
A bag of Lay's potato chips has a 50% profit margin. I heard Mr. Busey earlier say something in HO. I don't want the price of eggs to go up. Guess what? Eggs not going to eggs.
There are more accounts of people dying from eating organic foods than there are from people eating foods that may have had pesticides in them.
Okay. These are the people.
Whoa, keep going on. What is the answer to that? That was it? Oh, that was the first thing that he said?
Oh my God.
That
yeah.
more people are dying eating organic foods?
That was his argument.
Okay, first of all, look at him. That fella is filled with inflammation.
Yeah.
That fella, there's no way that dude is hiking up to the
So
top of that
what
hill.
I was gonna say is, this is where I was going earlier. This is so crazy. We, the land of misfit toys, a couple of us fucking every average day Joes,
Yeah.
are going up against the American Heart Association,
Yeah, but that's-
HEB's lobbying group, Bucky's lobbying group, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. They brought the fucking heat. 31-0. We got the vote through the Senate. 31-0. And then they said, holy shit. These assholes are going to pull this off in the state of Texas. They descended upon Texas with lobbyists out the ass. And I'm getting calls like, hey, can you come back to the Capitol? Can you come talk to congressmen and congresswomen? They're looking to kill the bill. They're going to kill the bill. It was the highest level of fuckery. I had Senator Colhurst. I had Lacey Hull, a representative, calling and saying, they are pulling out all the stops. all the stops. And
Oh my God! I was about to
you're
say.
going to create food deserts. You're going to starve minority communities. This is a race play. Like, you name it.
They're gonna starve. They don't have Coca-Cola.
We ended up, and this is kind of, it was a little bit of a smart move by Lacey and Senator Collers. We put glyphosate and atrazine in the bill to be listed as one of the substances that is known to cause harm. Okay? It isn't a food ingredient, so it was never going to make it
Just
through on
in
the bill.
time.
It was literally a
Like I
smoke
said,
screen to
even
provide
if that's
ground
not the
coverage
case,
and a
I'm
negotiation
sure we
tool.
could uncover
But
something
it also
useful
allowed
there.
us to see
The-
who's
Thanks.
against it
Good luck in there.
and what politicians are going to support big chemical. And these motherfuckers came out in the droves. And one of the main guys from freaking representative from Waco tried to kill the bill and turn the bill into a study. He said this shouldn't be a bill. This should just be a long-term study. And then industry came in and said we should kill the bill at the state level and push it back to the feds. We agree with you. There needs to be reform, but let's push it back to the feds. And so, but what people don't understand is we got the bills done. We got 3 of these monumental bills done. One of them require labels that disclose any banned substances in the state of Texas now have to be put on the front of a label, almost like a black box warning.
So
And if,
like RD40, all that shit. or whatever
any of the
fucking-
food dyes,
what's that
any of
stuff
the
called?
additives, what's not on there are big chemical, because big chemical wasn't a food ingredient. And the lobby for big chemical is so powerful. And that's where I was going with this. I mean, it is crazy the lobby that Monsanto and these companies have. And they're going to do that at the federal level. And they're
They
gonna
make
try and
trillions, not
exemption,
billion,
uh,
trillions, bro.
and my rebuttal to that
They're gonna
is
fucking murk you.
if I'm going to a bar and I'm not gonna fuck someone, there's no reason to carry a condom. So if you're not fucking me, why do you need the condom? If you're not fucking the American people, why do you need a condom? You're giving them a condom, but they're telling us they're not gonna fuck us.
Yeah, it's
Why do you need this exemption? If your product's not causing cancer, why do you need an exemption?
Never mind! Open fire!
If your vaccines aren't causing damage, why are we giving you a blanket exemption? It's yet another smokescreen from industry to protect their profits and shut down anybody from ever being able to go after them for the damages they cause.
100%.
And I don't get
100%.
it. Republicans, Democrats, they're all implicitly involved in
But
this.
we have to also understand that in a lot of countries this stuff is banned. And it's banned for a very good reason. It's banned because we know it causes harm. Why, in the greatest country in the world, do we ever have anyone that we allow to advocate for harm, for profit? Just harm. It's not like this is the
delete
only
all
way to
the
grow
data.
food. People grow food all over the world.
We can't
The
let it
idea
fall into
that
the
there's no
hands
way
of the
to grow food is
evolutionists.
pretty insane. Especially when we have examples.
Yeah.
But the thing is like scalability. I don't know if White Oaks pastures, if you could scale that out
Yeah.
and feed the world. I think we might have fucked up. I think we might have fucked up by jamming, I don't know how many millions of people are in LA. 20? What's the number? What's the real number?
Yeah.
What's the real number? No one knows.
Traitor!
The ICE raids
We'll
had
never
the
give
fucking
in to you.
the streets
You'll get
empty.
yours.
So no one knows what the real number is.
The great
right?
ones will
But
return.
Just
Your
how many
evolution
people
means
do you have to
nothing.
feed?
No,
If you
and
feed
even
so many
I think I
people,
said this
so you have to
earlier.
grow
Didn't
food.
I tell you that there was? They call them the Monsanto papers or whatever. And in way over west, there's this leaked document between the head of the EPA and Monsanto, where this individual says, "If I get this done for you guys, you'll open it." Yeah, I say that. Okay,
Yeah,
I
you
can't
said
remember.
that. Yeah.
Then there's the whole Coca-Cola aspect of
Yeah.
it too.
The point is, in LA, no one's growing anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's-
They're just all.
So you have 20 million people jammed into an area where the only thing that's growing is weed. That's the only
How the
thing
hell
that's
can they
growing.
keep aiming at me?
Imagine if you get people so excited about tomatoes and oranges as you do about wheat.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, look at my tomato
Or
plants.
even what you talked
Right.
about a bunch is hunting. Like so many people are out of
Good.
touch with
You
the
got off
reality
safely.
of what it
Everybody
takes
can't
to create
That's it?
food. No, I'm just saying like
Right.
even where their food comes from.
Well, where the food
Right.
comes from for sure. So the problem, what I was getting at,
Oh,
is that
not really,
I
but
think
no
we have
matter
set
if you're
ourselves
interested,
up
it's a
where our
shame.
population numbers in areas like Los Angeles and New York are so great that you almost need factory farming to provide those people with enough nutrition to stay alive. Like, it gets that weird. Because if you get to numbers, right? If you get to 20 million humans...
What do you mean,
that have
unlock?
food, all right, so they
Phase
need to get
2.
somebody else, they've pushed off to someone else the responsibility of acquiring food. All they have to do is give them currency to get that food. That is a new thing with human beings. This is a new thing. It's a new thing where we do that with enormous populations. And then, so what's the solution? The solution is one of the most immoral and unethical solutions that anyone has ever come up with anything. Stuff a bunch of animals into a fucking warehouse, have them piss and shit into a giant pond that you have outside that literally is probably poisoning the air around it for miles. And then spray the fuck out of this monocrop agriculture because you've completely distorted what nature is. You've got 1,000 acres of corn. Like, that never happens in the world. And all the animals and all the plants are supposed to kind of like intermingle in an ecosystem. And for profit, you've decided to like set up this fucking Frankenstein lab where you just spray death juice all over the fucking corn, and then you subsidize the farmers so the corn syrup is in goddamn everything, including fucking salad dressing. You know, and then you have canola oil, which is really just rapeseed oil, and it's a disgusting fucking industrial lubricant that you're pretending is heart healthy. And like this is the system.
See? Even Joe Rogan knows it. See? I only use coconut oil or avocado oil.
Traditional media that think that everything that I'm saying is conspiracy theory nonsense from bro science guy, which I am, bro science guy. I have a degree in bro science. But this is all just real, folks. You're fucking poisoned. And if you continue to eat that way, you're gonna be doomed. Your body's gonna fall apart. That's just a fact. We know it. We all know it. Processed food diets are just, there's no one that can say they're good for you, they're bad for you. Here's the question. Do we have enough stake in this? Do we have enough people's understanding of the dire consequences where we can have a real conversation about how do we feed all these people ethically and morally? Because right now we have ag-gag laws where if someone, like I say, if you work at some slaughterhouse or someplace, you're not allowed to film the atrocities.
I didn't know
you
that.
see. Yeah, there's laws. Yeah, you will go to jail. So if you show up at one of those horrible pig farms where they got these pigs like stuffed next to each other and shitting through grates, and then that, you ever seen that?
I've seen that.
If you film that and put it on TikTok, this is where your bacon comes from. You go to jail. You go to jail.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, they're abusing the animals. Like there's videos of guys that are working in slaughterhouses, feeding cows over there, sending them down, and slicing their throats, letting them squirm around. Those kind of videos. No consequences for the people that are doing it. Because here's the other dirty secret.
It's just so short.
Here's the other dirty secret. Where do you think they get their employees from? If you're gonna run a disgusting, unethical, immoral business, who are you gonna hire? First of all, it's disgusting, dirty work. Nobody wants to smell pig shit all day. Who are you gonna hire? Well, you're gonna hire people that snuck into the country because you don't have to have documents on them. You don't have to pay them any kind of health care. You don't have to give them any kind of benefits. You don't have to give them jack shit. Yeah. So you benefit from keeping that fucking border wide open. And these people that have publicly talked about this, we need the labor in this country because they're doing jobs that Americans don't want to do.
Because they're fucking health risks, dude.
Doing it the way that we're doing it, where those jobs are a necessity in 2025. Yeah. Or are we captive to an evil industry that cares more about money than it does about humans?
I like doing that.
Well, I think you see the history throughout all industry. You know, it's just.
But it's always a battle of good and evil, and that's what we have to understand. Like, don't lose faith. Like, oh my God, people suck. No. A small amount of people suck, and some of those people get power, and then they control massive amounts of people who mostly don't suck.
Really, what you're saying is, and we've talked about this, but I swear to God, like when Denny's came on to Waste Well to help me.
Oh my God, Denny's. Oh.
Our conversation was, if we make this about people, this is the hand of God truth, man. This isn't.
Hey, brother, I love you. You don't have to tell me. This is one of the reasons why you're on this. You're a really good person, like a genuinely good person. And I've seen you interact with fucking dozens of people that are my very good friends. I've seen you. I've talked to people that I knew, but that you maybe didn't know that I knew them independently, and they've told me they've had. You're a good guy. I and you're making good money. But your mindset is so on the money. Like, do the best that you can for people, and all the other stuff will fall into place. Like, the problem with corporations is that you can't function like that.
Yeah.
You have an obligation to your stakeholders. So even if you're a good person, which I think most of those people are probably good people that have been co-opted, and then there's this diffusion of responsibility because you're a part of a gigantic corporation. Maybe I don't like what's going on. Maybe I don't like what we're doing. But hey,
It gets
all I
hard.
can do is
Tundra, hell yeah.
what I do around me. Like when you're a defense lawyer and you're helping someone get off and you know he's a murderer.
Yeah.
And you have to help.
Yeah.
This is your job. Like
Yeah.
the guy stabbed his wife and you have to
I'm under attack. I mean, we have 500 employees. I'm battling the FDA. I'm battling the state of Texas. We were worried about the DEA and it changing telemedicine law. But then you still have competition. And beyond market pressure from Big Pharma, there's other compounding pharmacies, there's other telemedicine companies, there's other telemedicine apps, there's other AI-driven. And you're sitting here and I'm watching what the market's doing and I disagree with it. And I've stood my ground. And if I'm wrong, I let down 500 people. If I get this wrong, I disappoint and let down 500 fucking people that believed in me, that took a leap of faith, that have worked at these companies, because I have refused to outsource care. What I have seen when I came on this podcast, I guess it was 4 years ago now, the first time, we had this boom. We had only managed like 7,000 patients. I go on here and 20,000 people try to register in like a day. And I'm like, holy shit. And people are like, you guys suck, and why can't you be in my state? And I'm like, because to get into your state is a lot more complicated. The way my competitors are doing it is they're just outsourcing to a telemedicine doc that has no training in this disease state. And that to me is no different than Big Pharma. If we're
It's a
going to
slippery
just
slope.
push pills and one size fits
That
all
is respectable, dude.
medicine,
That is
that's not
fucking
predictive, preventative, and
respectable.
personalized. And the vision of this company was to be predictive, preventative, and personalized. And I've had people try and buy us out, and I've had people offer to buy us out, and I could take a payday, but I look at that and I go, we're barely scratching the surface, and the day I sell, this thing is no longer what it is. I really believe that. It's just going to be a money.
I have no. You don't have to say anything.
Stay here.
To speak
Don't
of
exit back now.
I get vitamins that are
Go back!
You're back.
whatever my blood work is. And that's what I
Yes,
do.
baby.
Take weight, take 8 of them, just throw them in my mouth, swallow them all at once. Some people do
Please.
I got
No
a big
water,
mouth.
nothing?
Oh, I would drink water
Oh,
for
it's
sure.
like you're just raw
Yeah,
talking.
no. How would you even do that? I couldn't even swallow one
Stop.
without water.
I know people who will just
Please.
swallow a bunch of pills. I can't do it. I have to
No
sip
water?
one pill at a time.
I like it
No,
when you
man,
beg
Justin
me.
Wren, when he would take his vitamins, he would just throw like a whole handful in and just swallow them. I'm
No
like, how
water.
do you do that?
Stop.
No
dude?
water?
Yeah, I know he's a
Please.
huge human, but Jesus.
Yeah, that's Viking.
Beg me more,
Jesus
baby.
eating mushrooms that way when they would go on berserker raids. But you know, I just that's all I have
Stop.
to take now. And
Please.
I'm gonna get my new blood work soon. See where everything's
Go
at.
no further.
I think I'm gonna add a bunch of stuff back in, particularly niacin, and then a bunch of other stuff that I was taking that really seems to have worked in terms of stopping macular degeneration.
So is this all I can do then?
Degeneration. I think that and the red light therapy has worked. I don't use reading glasses anymore when I read my phone.
Hell, man.
That's nuts.
And GHK and BPC and stem cells and all of these things have benefits in every one of those aspects. There was that study out of Europe, I think we covered it last time, for degenerative eyesight loss in using red light therapy.
Yeah, my eyesight is still not the best. Like if I put a pair of readers on, I can see better, but I have no problem reading. It's just like a little fuzzy, but not to the point where I can't read things anymore. But it was getting worse.
Yeah.
It was getting significantly worse. Like every 6 to 8 months, I would notice a decline. Like, fuck, man, I can't see shit anymore. And then I started wearing reading glasses. I've stopped that.
Yeah.
So it's not just stopped in its tracks, but my eyesight has gotten better. Which is, nobody thinks that's possible. Ask most ophthalmologists, like, what? You're gonna take vitamins, you know, like steroids.
Well, it
for
makes
red
sense
light.
because all of these things are in an effort to refuel ATP, and eyesight and ocular degeneration requires an immense amount of ATP, and as our cells begin to degrade, those are the first cells that are going to go and begin to lose their functionality.
Yes.
And so if we can refuel ATP and maximize ATP, then we can optimize your chances at these degenerative things not occurring.
Shut up,
That's
Meg.
my whole point of these building blocks. Peptides, stem cells, amnion, purified, all of it, all of it.
All right. Since this is all I can do, then
Aren't readily available or even talked about in traditional medicine. And it's not because your doctor or clinician's a bad guy or girl. It's because they're in an insurance model, and insurance doesn't cover any of these things.
Exactly. And that's the real problem in this country.
oh, I see. I started in a novice one. I was wondering why I didn't have.
There is a path towards
Oh,
it,
wow.
and we have to fucking light the way. We have to say, hey, this road that we're on, do you know goblins built this road? Do you know this road leads to the fucking goblin house? Yeah, guys, I know way around to the enchanted forest. Go this way.
And our mutual friend, I asked him and his mom if I could talk about this, Jesse Michaels. So Jesse's dad is older and he's suffering from dementia. And they flew down here. I said, just get him down here. And again, it's very nuanced. We did a lot of things. He was here for 3 days. They're academics. Jesse's brilliant. You can tell that kid's brilliant, but his parents are brilliant too. They're psychologists. And so both his dad's and has had cognitive decline. And they came in, and his mom was a mega expert. On day 3, she came in, tears in her eyes, hugged Veronica, hugged the team, which I gotta thank the team that's here in Austin, because those people, I love my team.
Yeah,
They're the magic. I am not. They're the magic, not
It's
me.
a great place. It's very positive.
And she hugged us and cried and said last night. It just makes me emotional because I believe it, man. I'm telling you. I've seen it. I believe it. I'm a believer. You're never going to change my mind. I don't give a shit what these people are saying at the federal level. This stuff is life.
Get 'em, boys.
I've witnessed
finish
it.
the dementia
She, tears in her eyes, hugged the team and said, if nothing else, what did you this is for? We did stem cells. We did, he was there.
Witness me.
Hyperbaric, cellular therapy, peptides, hit him with everything but the kitchen sink, like what we do with all these folks, and we systematically red light. We did all of it, but he's here for a 3-day experience, and we run him through these things just to see if we can launch him into like a healthier space going back home, reduce inflammation, help with all of these different aspects, hit him with GHK, hit him with GPC, hit him with stem cells, all of these different peptides and building blocks. Anyway, she literally was in tears and hugged the team. For the first time in a long time, I had my husband back last night. It was like the olden days. Like we talked, we laughed, we hugged. I had my husband back, and she said, if it's just that, if all I get out of this is that one night, thank you. Like, thank you. And I talked to Jesse, and he's like, my dad's doing the best he's done in months. I'm not saying that these things are going to cure dementia. I'm not saying any of
Dude,
that.
if I had dementia, and that happened, I would move to Austin. I'd be camped out right next to your fucking building. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
But so many people think there's no hope. And
Right.
people with obesity, like Jelly Roll, 500 pounds,
I
man.
know.
And look at him.
It's incredible.
He's gone from walking to now he can run. Now he's playing pickup basketball.
He carries that stupid rock.
Yeah, I
Well,
saw
I
that.
think he did. Because he
He
went
did
up
that
to the
hike with
top.
Cam.
Yeah, he went up to the top of Mount Pisgah. He was on Lift Run Shoot. He was amazing on it. He's such a sweet soul of a human being. He
He's
really is.
unbelievable. He's the
Such-
nicest guy.
And he looks like a criminal. A full-on criminal. Fucking tattoos all over his face.
Oh
Looks
my
so
God.
sketchy, but he's so sweet.
Yeah.
He's such a good dude. And the
He's
fact
going to be
that
on the
he
cover
lost-
of Men's Health and GQ now.
That's incredible. It's incredible. Well,
What?
Super, super inspirational.
And I hope it motivates other people. Like, you can get the weight off.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a GLP-1.
Right.
It doesn't have to be. And even those, like, this is where it's nuanced. Like, I understand the backlash against GLP-1s, but when titrated down and unique and proprietary to a dosage unique to that
Coconut
patient,
water.
and when stacked with things
Even
like
though it's not
hormone optimization
coconut season.
and IGF,
Yeah.
we can burn that fat off and maintain lean muscle mass, and we're quantifying it because we have a DEXA at the clinic. So anybody who comes in, we run them through a DEXA now. We know their lean muscle mass, their body fat, and
Right.
the goal is to preserve muscle, because I would argue more important than getting the body fat off, and this is the pivot that I've tried to get Jelly Roll to and other folks.
Ah, you mother.
The fat's
Get him.
Let's focus on building muscle. If we can build muscle and help build leg strength and help put muscle on your frame, it's going to put you in a better position for long-term health. Don't make it all about scale. Make it about your body composition.
Fucking slap you with my fish.
How can we transition that composition
Oh,
to
take that.
optimize lean muscle?
Bitch, slap you with my fish. Oh, take that. Oh,
We don't want to give up
slap you with my fish.
keep all, it's a motherfucker to put that muscle back on. You don't want to lose that muscle.
Yeah, even with hormone optimization, it's a constant battle. You have to constantly be working. And if you don't,
What? Oh,
you're gonna
no.
get weak. And that this is not a good thing. It's not virtuous to be weak. And this is a problem with, we were talking about masculinity earlier. Yeah, hyper awful masculinity is Viking, right?
Yeah.
They show up in a boat, they kill everybody. Like that. Yeah,
Shane
you don't
Gillis'
want that.
bit on Vikings.
Okay, Vikings.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
That
they
would
were,
be
too.
terrifying.
Yeah, that's what they were too. Yeah. But I think everyone was gay back then.
What weapons do I have?
You know,
Let's
it's
see.
like-
I
it's
forgot.
like, hey, it was-
5, 5, 5,
Is
5,
everybody gay?
5,
Like,
5,
Socrates,
5. Oh,
What the fuck was everybody
4
gay?
gay hat
I
and
think it was different
pants.
back then. I think the concept of gay and straight is a fairly new one. I think back then everybody just fucked everybody.
I'm sure. It
Well,
was wild
just like
times.
chimps do.
It was wild times.
Chimps, like bonobos. You ever watch the bonobos? They're the rule. The mom won't fuck the son. That's it. Everybody's fucking. Everybody else is fucking everybody.
No, it was chimpanzees in that. Was that those weren't bonobos?
No.
Though. What was that
Chimp
chimp? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
wild.
crazy. Yeah. Bonobos are
Spring
they're
damage
weird,
reduction.
like cousins.
I've heard you've been talking about Jesse's deal with the
Tridactyl
Oh, let's try it.
proteins and-
And then I think we talked
And
about it. Have you
pants.
watched the one on Homo Leti, that bipedal primate that buried the dead
Mhm.
deep in caves?
Uh-huh,
Like, we don't
yeah.
know shit. We know
Yeah.
nothing
Well,
about
we're
our
learning.
history.
We're learning, but it's a scattered.
Ooh,
It's
heavy
not
duty.
like, oh, we found the logbook. We know what happened at every step of the way. No, we're finding like little pieces of evidence from a burnt down building. Like, what is this? Oh, this looks like. I think this is a lighter.
Well, I know you had
Maybe a
Gary.
lighter
You had
did.
Gary Nolan on
Yes.
too. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm curious,
Fascinating.
where's your head at now? Because I know you've gone
Something's-
back forth.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
But whatever this thing is going on, first of all, from a material science perspective, which is what Gary was here for. Well, Gary was here to talk about his cancer research, first of all, which was fascinating. And then amazing stuff, like very interesting. Then we started talking about how this was sort of an accidental introduction. Someone brought to him a piece of some kind of a craft, supposedly that crashed, and said, could you analyze this and find out what
Was
this
someone
is?
the CIA?
Probably. I don't know. One of them, a piece was brought to the Art Bell show. They said that was from a crash from like the 1940s. But this piece, it had a direct chain of evidence, so people knew where it was from a crash from the 1960s in Brazil. It was made out of almost pure silica. But the magnesium, the ratios, the isotope ratios in the magnesium, had to
Wait.
be from a place that was experiencing what is the equivalent of a neutron bomb going off every 2 minutes for 900 years. Right, like
Yeah.
this is not like this would be hyper difficult to make today. Not saying it's impossible. This is what he's saying. Like the odds of someone making that in 1950.
Treacherous.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And then there's this alloy that they found, where there's layers at like an atomic level. But this has been like a 3D printed alloy with like levels of these metals that don't
What?
occur organically. And this is
Echo from the realm.
Like this is impossible today
Yeah.
with human beings.
Limited?
2025. No one's making that shit. There's not a fact. You would know. Someone would have heard.
That
about
gun
it.
sucks though.
Blacklisted military operation deep in the Nevada mountains that no one knows about. That's doing some crazy, super funded shit that they lie to Congress about.
Okay,
maybe.
let's
But
see.
in 1970, were you doing that? Did you have that alloy in 1970 that we can't make today? That seems unlikely.
Yeah.
So something's going on.
Well, and your podcast with Representative Luna, I mean, I know she's on the political side, but
Hey.
I'm like, to have a congresswoman saying these things, and then even Tulsi came out.
She was
Our
talking
girl
about
Tulsi.
intradimensional beings, and I was like, "What are you saying?" You know why I reached out to her to have her on the podcast? Because she made a tweet about the description of angels, what angels look like. She's,
I didn't even see
it. And I was
it.
like, "Whoa,
No.
whoa, whoa!" I go, "Did you tweet this?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "We didn't want to talk to me about this." We never even talked about it. We never even got into the
that's
conversation. But we got into aliens, and we got into which. You know, I think that good and evil are real things. I think they're real things. And I think there's this very big struggle, both on a micro and a macro scale. I think internally there's a battle of good and evil. You know when you want to do something good, but you can get away with doing something bad, the right thing to do is to do the good thing. And then you feel better because of it. This is like a weird, it's not like it's impossible for you to go into evil. If the situation was that you were, in another time, in another part of the world, in a horrific war, and you had to raid a village because everyone else is raiding the village, and you have to kill everybody because everybody else is killing everybody. That's a part of us. There's a real struggle between figuring that out. I wonder if that exists with some other beings from somewhere else. And this is where you get into biblical depictions of gods and angels and demons. And you go, well, what are we really talking about? If these people were trying to write something down to represent a real event that took place, we're looking at it in the framework of a society that believes in aliens because we've experienced space travel. We know how to fly in planes, we know how to fly to the stars, and we know where this goes. We know where this goes. This goes to a better place where you get really good at it when then you come visit us, right? So we know that. But back then, they didn't know that.
Yeah.
They didn't know anybody could fucking fly, right? So if they're experiencing angels who literally fly, and
How the fuck do I have it on lock if they're selling it here?
these fucking things that they find, like the Brazilian one, from
God,
Virginia, smells like sulfur.
Yeah.
Is that weird that that's what demons
Those are like
supposedly
wild
smell?
stories. All of those stories, and then you go
Demons
like back in
supposedly
even
smell like
biblical
sulfur.
scripture, like the Book of Enoch, which I know
Right.
isn't like technically.
I'm reading that right now. I've got it on audiobook right now. Listening to it every day. It's fucking bananas.
It's
the Watchers.
crazy, yeah.
The Watchers who came down
and they
from the
just,
sky
they
to
gave
mate with
knowledge
female.
to Enoch, took him into space, and gave
Yeah.
him knowledge of agriculture and architecture, and you're like, what?
Also sorcery.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's-
which is probably technology.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be to people in that era.
100%. Dude, I think we're engineered.
Yeah.
I think we are in a stage of our society where the growth is experiencing this confrontation with
What
our
else am I
nature.
wearing right now?
Like,
Shelter.
the growth of intelligence, the growth of awareness is experiencing this battle with the fact that wars are still going on. I think this is why, like, there's a lot of shock in some circles about the public's backlash against what's happening in Gaza. Like, almost like they can't understand it. Like, you can understand, how is this possible?
I'm treacherous, and I
think this
just.
is the only way in 2025 human beings can behave, where you can bomb women and children, and any opposition to that is anti-Semitic. That's not flying today. You can't do that today because this
Okay.
is
So I just need to.
But we're not there yet.
Gloves.
We're not at a place where we have no war. We're not at a place where there's no more murder. We're not at a place where you don't have to send the National Guard into Chicago because there's 54 fucking shootings in a weekend. So if I was an alien civilization, I would wait. I would do what we're doing right now.
I almost view it as a test. I've said this recently. I don't remember who else, but in my mind, I look at it as kind of like what Graham Hancock says. What if we reached a level of knowledge and sophistication, but there's a reset button? And I know the cataclysmic events and all those things, and we know that happens. And we know it happens, I think, every 70,000 years. There's that. It's
But I already have it unlocked.
But separate from that, when we look at the cosmos and we say once you have the ability to generate a certain level, reach a level 2 society, and you reach that level 2 society, then you can create enough energy to bend space and time, and in theory you could fold time and traverse the cosmos.
Yeah.
Okay, what if the reason there's not an exorbitant amount of intelligent life in the universe or the cosmos is you have to reach a certain level of spiritual accountability and knowledge and maturity before the technological advancement supersedes that or advances past it, right?
Right.
Because right now, if you gave us infinite power,
Yeah.
we're going to be fucking dead.
Well, we kind
Like,
of.
it's
are in
terrifying.
we're certainly in that situation when it comes to nuclear bombs. We have enough nuclear bombs to kill everybody over, and yet we're still making them.
Yeah.
Everybody on the planet we could kill, and we're still so stupid that we haven't pointed at each other. Right? So if I was an alien, I would wait.
Yeah, just wait.
Makes sense that you have to achieve some sort of spiritual connection, but that is just assuming that you stay human, and that human is the only way to go. You know, there's this very highly criticized video of Peter Thiel, which is kind of
About
funny.
the Antichrist.
No, no, that's another one. Poor guy. Also, kind of like looks a little too shiny to be a regular person. He's a little too.
Oh wait, I got a shelter hat.
The reptilian.
But he's
What level?
a thoughtful person, and when I was asking him any question on the podcast, he has these long pauses. This is a part of his speech pattern, part of his thinking. Well, the problem is he did that with the question of should the human race survive. Yeah. this guy was like, the answer they should, right? So the
Duh.
guy was like pressing him, talking to him like he's a regular person, instead of just letting this air out. You're gonna are you pressed for time? You got a fucking an hour and a half to talk to this guy. Let him talk. But the problem is we are awesome. And I love all the things that we do. I love.
Dang it, I got the wrong one. Oh well.
Food, and we create fun.
No,
comedy,
it's very good.
fun with each
Treacherous.
other. I love human beings. I love our creative ability. I love all the things about us.
Where's the other
This is
one?
Not the only way that
Let me
a
see.
life form can exist.
It's
The idea
shelter
to stay this forever, although I love
and
us, seems
treacherous.
kind of silly. This is like going back to Australopithecus and go, bro, fucking sticks and stones for life, bro. Fuck a house. Okay,
Heavy duty.
bro? I'm down with all. No, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. And what's the next logical step for an organism that is experiencing technological advancements far beyond anything that any other organism on the planet has come anywhere close to? Like, we're way out there. What's the next logical step? Well, abandon everything that ruins us.
Yeah.
So what ruins us? All this greed that we're talking about earlier. What does all this come from? This comes from famine thinking. This comes from tribal thinking, us versus them. This comes from trying to acquire resources because you want to stay alive.
So
All
what
these
the
things have been
fucking
hijacked. All
way?
these human reward systems have been hijacked,
Weapon.
monetized,
That's
and
his
then stuck into
element.
this corporate structure where you have to make more money every quarter. It's craziness.
Well, and back to psychedelics. When you do psychedelics, ego sheds, and you go, there is no me. Like, there's us.
All right.
We're in this together. And every
Treacherous,
time I think I'm
treacherous,
trying to be a good
treacherous,
person,
treacherous.
There's never a time I've done a big dose of
Treacherous.
psychedelics and not thought about something I did mean in 3rd grade, or like,
Of course.
I've got to be better.
Of
I have to be
course.
more patient. I can't lose my
Yes.
temper.
Of
My
course.
God, man, I really wish I wouldn't have lost my temper over X.
Yeah,
Or
that's the
I could have
benefit
been
of
way
it.
more empathetic on this. I was selfish and I was busy and I was stressed and I ignored this person's cry for help. Like,
This is my point. I think
all of it.
we're that close to not ever having to think about those things again. I think we're that close. I think
Yeah.
we're that close to transcending what it means to be a human being, and I don't know if it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good.
Nobody knows.
technology?
Yeah,
Okay.
because what we're getting with humans is the blues. We're getting Charlie Crockett. We're getting Sturgill
Okay.
Simpson. We're getting with humans. We're getting beauty. We're getting amazing voices.
So now I got this and
Go, fuck. We're getting muscle cars like, dude, look at this thing. We're getting, with humans, we're getting all this amazing stuff, but we're also getting,
okay, good.
we're also getting Ukraine. We're also getting the fucking, the the housing scandal from 2008, the collapse. We're getting evil shit. We're getting demons. We're getting, the fucking we could go down the line with medications, pharmaceutical drugs.
I'll see how it works out.
chemicals And pollutants and all.
Wait, this
the
is
fucking scams
4
that are
4
going on
5 5 5 5
around
5.
our education system. All of this is because
Can't repair it.
human beings are capable
Can't
of
repair it.
deceiving.
Can't repair it.
All of this is because human beings
Okay,
have these
calibrate.
systems that are built in from us being territorial
Let's
apes.
see.
And we're all so attached to those things because they make great
Weapon damage? No.
because a chocolate milkshake is fucking delicious. You know, because I do like pulling into P. Terry's and ordering a double bacon cheeseburger on a boat. You know, it doesn't mean that this is the only way to go, and I think we have to abandon that. Just like you have to abandon the idea of not having a cell phone anymore. There's gonna
Wait.
be something that happens.
If I have tin ore here, how come I can't?
To communicate with each other in a different way, and I think it's going to be mind to mind, and I think it's going to be through this interface, and it gets really challenging. It's going to get really challenging as to how do you know whether or not that interface is controlled. Is there a
True.
decentralized system where we realize that the power structures that exist right now in terms of big tech, you cannot allow that we've shown that they're terrible with censorship. We've shown that they're terrible with dictating narratives and with siding with corporate.
I don't know why it does that, but it does it instantly. It's-
well-being, and they're doing it, and they're lying, and they're using bots, and so we know that that exists right now. And if we have that controlling the mind, the hive mind of the world, that's not good. So it's going to have to be
your theory, though, if I'm
decentralized.
understanding, I want to make sure because we don't
Yeah.
have telepathy yet. I want to make sure I'm understanding. I think I am. Like I look at ChatGPT or any of these large language models, and they're a tremendous resource, and that is now the new Google, and that is where you research and get a lot of information and fact check things. And right now, you type it in a phone and you wait, you get an answer. In the future, I'm envisioning like Cyberlink or one of these companies implants.
Damn, she fucking runs fast.
With that. So you think like the Matrix. I know Kung Fu.
100%.
I know Kung Fu.
100%.
You just
And,
download a jujitsu app and now you know jujitsu.
and universal language, universal telepathic language. I think that's on the agenda, and Elon's talked about that.
Amanda already has fucking headphones that she brought to Europe where you speak in one language, you give the person the other headphone, it tells them in English or in
Yeah.
their language, and then translates theirs to English.
Yeah.
It's
Google
literally
does that.
there. It's just a freaking earpiece though.
Yeah.
And it's in
Yep.
your ear. And imagine when that's just in your head and you're not even using words, you're just
Well, how about
sharing
this?
an emotion.
How about we abandon all languages except a new one? The whole world. I mean, that's probably the Tower of Babel, dude. That's probably how it went down. You see, when I read like these things like the Book of Enoch or you know, even if you there's like the Ezekiel story, I'm always like, what are they trying to say? Someone was trying to write something down. To dismiss it today as just fairy tales, and that's cute. I love how you're really smart and you're better than everybody else. That's great. Because that's part of the thing of being an atheist. Like, I'm smart. These are fairy tales. Like, okay. Look, I don't really believe a guy came back from the dead. But what were they trying to talk about? Like, who was that guy?
I don't like people who are that definitive. You can't be that
Right.
Being atheist is just as arrogant as saying where was the saying, like there's 900 something religions, and if you're a Christian and you say all 899 are wrong.
Right.
Being an atheist is even more arrogant. You're literally saying everything's wrong and there's nothing. Like
Well, I think
there's got to be something.
I think there is something, but I think you also have to look at it through the lens of human beings. Because unfortunately, we are a dirty filter. And if you run the truth through us, the truth is going to get contaminated. If you have if you pour pure tequila through a filter that has cat shit in it, you're going to get cat shit in your drink. That's just how it works.
Totally, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you're a human being and you're telling a true story, and you're telling it for centuries before it ever gets written down, right? And then it gets written down in one language, it gets translated into another language, and then you get a couple of rabbis who decide way back, like, what year was it where they took the Book of Enoch out of the canon, right? They decided because it was from a rival faction, from the Qumran people. Those are the ones who believed in Enoch. Well, fuck those people. Those guys are assholes. Let's get it out. So that one story that throws the whole, like, they had to teach that in the Bible today. If you went to Sunday church And they were talking about the Watchers coming down and breeding with female humans and providing sorcery and metallurgy and teaching them agriculture. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Instead of this one very compelling story about Jesus Christ, which is very compelling, because there's no human beings historically. Like,
Okay, let's go.
Some of the things that Muhammad did, a lot of people are like, hey, this is kind of crazy. He married a 9-year-old. Hey, this is kind of crazy. Like, what do you, like, he's a warlord? Hey, this is kind of crazy. Like, with Jesus Christ, it's very weird. Like, you have this insanely peaceful person in a time of ultimate chaos, where the Romans are literally taking people that they don't like and pegging them to a fucking cross.
Yeah.
And then this guy decides he wants to die that way. And this is everybody's story that interacts with him. Nobody's like, oh, I knew Jesus. He was a cunt. The guy was a piece of shit. Let me tell you what, he fucked my sister, dude. I told him, just don't fuck my sister. Like, no, there's no stories like that. It's weird. The story is weird. The story of this guy who tells you universal truths that apply today. You know, treat everyone as if they are you.
Yeah.
And that he figured this out 2,000 years ago? I want to know who that guy was. Like, what was going on with that guy? Was that guy like the ultimate mushroom eater of all time? Did he figure it all out back then? And was he teaching these people that? Or was he an extraterrestrial? Was he what we think of as the Son of God because he literally is born from another life form and brought down to Earth to try to help our advancement?
It's all fascinating.
It is
stuff.
very
It is
fascinating
crazy.
because, and anybody who's Christian, like, that's bullshit and blasphemy and you don't know the canon. You're right. But you gotta throw the human being filter into the equation, always. Look, there's some things about the human being filter that are really fascinating. Like, one of the things that Wes Huff told us when he was on the podcast is explaining that the book of Isaiah from the Dead Sea Scrolls, which they didn't even know existed, when they translated it, they found out it is 1,000 years older than the book of Isaiah that was thought to be the oldest version of it, and they're identical, verbatim, word for word. So that's where it gets crazy, right?
Okay,
something
so
once it's written down that the true devotees, and as long as you don't get some asshole rabbis aside, get that book of Isaiah out of there, or get that book of Enoch out of there. There's a few, we're humans. The human cat shit filter gets in the way. And you get human interaction with this, and then you lose some of the story. Like, fuck, what was the story, though?
Yeah.
This is my take on all of it. There was something that happened, man. And we have this urge to deny that this something might have been some higher intelligence from somewhere else manipulating human genes. But we do it.
Yeah.
I went to see the Dire Wolves last month.
How was that?
Insane. Insane.
They're the same ones that are going to bring back the woolly mammoth, right?
Yes. I went to see the fucking Game of Thrones Dire Wolves. They are so clearly not regular wolves. It is why. And there's always people that are saying, like, technically speaking, according to my academy, this is not a real dire wolf. You've just manipulated a
You've
gray wolf.
exaggerated traits of the dire wolf in a gray
You're
wolf.
correct. However, tell it to the dire wolf.
Yeah.
That thing thinks it's a dire wolf. It looks like a dire wolf. It's it's behaving like a dire wolf. My point is, we do that. We fuck with genes of animals all the time.
Well, you and I've talked about it. Look at our own genes. Look at our genetic growth of our brain, and we try to go back and say it's because we went to hunter-gatherers, and all of a sudden we burned meat, and then because we burned meat, our GI tract shrunk, and our GI tract shrunk, and the protein was absorbed, and our brains were able to grow. It still doesn't really account for how much our intelligence jumped and our brain capacity jumped.
Over just a small amount of time, historically. When you compare all the other animals on the planet, no other animal experienced anything remotely like the doubling of the human brain size. We were already pretty fucking clever. Pretty clever monkeys. You know, monkeys have little languages. They tell each other when hawks are nearby. They scream. You know, they've shown that some monkeys will trick other monkeys into getting away from the fruit. They'll yell out that there's an eagle, and then those monkeys run to get away from the eagle, and then that monkey runs and gets the fruit. Yeah. So they have a language, they have deception, they're clever little fuckers, but they ain't shit compared to us.
Yeah.
You know, you go from monkey to Elon Musk, and you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me what you did. How'd you get here? How'd you get here?
Yeah, why are we the only species in this planet that be able to evolve like that?
Maybe. Or maybe that book of Enoch is trying to tell you something.
There's so much
Maybe
stuff.
Ezekiel is trying to tell you something. Maybe that wheel within a wheel where this thing is coming out of the sky and you can't even understand what he's seeing. How come so many people have these? Just because I haven't had that experience doesn't mean that that's not a real thing that's happened over and over. There might be a reason why I haven't had that experience. First of all, I have too much big of a platform and a big fucking mouth, and I'd probably ruin the whole party. But I wouldn't even, because no one would believe me. It would just be one more thing that you ridicule. And when you ridicule people,
Can I grab it? Just
that you haven't had yourself, you gotta wonder, like, what if they're telling the truth?
Did Gary get into because go back to like the telepathy tapes and the story with these nonverbal autistic children?
I should say
Gary,
something about that though before we went.
what is this shit?
Who's a mentalist? He's very critical of that stuff, and he showed me what they're doing. And one of the things that he said, he goes, no.
Azul, rojo, amarillo.
Sons,
All
while
right.
They're like moving the words around. They're assisting. They're helping them. He goes, this if
Azul,
as a scientist might not be able to see what they're doing. He goes, but a mentalist.
rojo.
And Oz Perlman is fucking amazing at that shit. I mean, he did some tricks where I figured out how he did it. Jamie actually figured one of the things that he did out afterwards. Yeah, we don't need to tell anybody. We don't need to tell anybody.
I saw Jamie, Chris Ramsey was doing all this crazy, fucking amazing magician illusion shit, and Jamie's like fucking calling him out on everything he could figure out.
Well, Jamie's a little bit of a let me tell you something though. Me and Jamie, when we watched David Blaine, we were like, "What the fuck did he do? Like, what did he do? How did he do that?" He was showing us card tricks off camera to my young daughter at the time. We were baffled. Jamie was watching him. His sleeves were rolled up. We're like, what did he do? Like, we watched it over and over and over again. I don't know how the fuck he did it.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
He's weirdly good at that shit. Like, weirdly good.
Yeah.
Where it's quite a mind fuck. But so Oz Perlman's, but he's not doing real magic. He's not a real sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
This is the point. There's tricks, and Oz was like, you should not account for any of that evidence that they're showing you. He goes, this is all like there's a nonverbal communication between the mother and the son, but it involves touching. It involves like pointing and signaling. It's not as simple as the kid just figured it out. And then he showed us a video of it, and we're like, oh. The kid was in another room. No one was around him. They gave him the iPad. He knew what to write down because it was in his head because his mom had seen it. It's not that simple. So maybe there's some that he's dismissing that you can't dismiss.
Well, I've heard Gary he breaks down a certain brain anomaly that seems to be consistent with UAP experiencers. Did he get into that?
No, he did not.
He's done like these brain scans and tests on military personnel who are trying to qualify for disability, and every single one of them have this brain anomaly. And his thing is the brain anomaly an antenna that makes you more receptive or able to pick up on these things, or did the encounter itself create the anomaly?
Ooh. Well, you got to do a double-blind, placebo-controlled test and have some kid wander through the desert for a couple of months, hopefully get abducted. But that's the other thing. They're not abducting. They're doing whatever the fuck they want to do. They don't really care about your agenda if they are a real thing, you know. And I don't know that they are. I don't know that these aren't just psychotic dreams that people have. I don't know. Because dreams are very realistic, and dreams are often uniform. Like, a lot of people have dreams of falling. A lot of people have dreams of breathing underwater. Does that mean you're really breathing underwater?
I just look at it logically and say there's so many inhabitable planets now in the cosmos, and if any of those planets ever had a head start on life a few million years ahead of Earth, then there's a statistical likelihood that life would have evolved into intelligent life over time. And with a big enough head start, you would have the
They're fucking conquering us. You remember Columbans and the Indians?
destroy yourself. But what if the test is, does your society reach a level of consciousness that is non-destructive before you become an off-planet species?
Well, my fear is the only way to do that is my fear is that the only way to do that is to integrate with this great machine that we're creating right now, artificial general superintelligence, and that we're going to either have to merge or perish, and that we're going to choose to merge. And one of the things that's probably going to happen to us is all of these things that we love, that we create with all of our imperfect human behavior, all those things are going to have to go bye-bye. That's my fear. That's why the gray aliens all look uniform. They look all the same,
Hive mind.
and they don't use their lips. They talk with their minds, and that's probably the future of the human race. That's probably why it's there. When you see that iconic image from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, there's something about that makes sense.
Why does it keep doing that?
Because it seems like where we're going.
A deviation. This deviation. They never, but they chase leaks.
Covered in hair, short and fucking gnarled over, and fighting off predators. To some nerd who works at Google right now, who's deciding, whether or not trans fucking activists who are protesting this or that should show up in your Google feed. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's where. Well, where's it going after that? I think that's part of what's going on with like this confusion with gender and the fact that
Sweet.
microplastics are killing everybody's reproductive systems, killing everybody's endocrine system. A significant drop in testosterone from the 1970s.
My tint.
Significant increase in miscarriages. Like we're becoming non-biological sexual.
We're literally
entities.
becoming Demolition
Yes.
Man. Do you remember the movie Demolition Man?
Yeah. Well,
Nobody
we're
has sex.
criticizing
They work.
femininity.
They have, and at that time, it's like greetings and salutations.
Yeah.
Like nobody has violence or
We're
any.
criticizing normal femininity, especially like traditional wife roles, but we are celebrating women who assume roles in society of toxic men, which is CEOs. We're celebrating a woman becoming more manly. We're celebrating men becoming feminists. We're celebrating men who are wearing that fucking BDSM outfit that shithead was wearing, and it's like he was posing with that outfit on,
Yeah.
like, look at me, I'm free.
Yeah.
This is how I behave, and I want Hep B shots for all the babies. Like, we're a society that's lost its fucking way. Clearly, we've lost our way, and what better way to find our way than a little thing slip on over your head? And everybody's locked in, and everybody's
True.
together in this. But who's going to control that fucking thing? It has to be decentralized. It has to be literally like connected to some sort of a hive mind blockchain. It's the only way it's going to work. It's never going to work if you have a corporation like Google or Meta or any other corporation that has censorship. Like even these chatbots. Ask chatbots about like racial statistics for homicides and things like that. They don't want to profile. They don't want to do that. They don't want to give you answers on things like that are really inconvenient that people don't like.
You saw that crazy fucking software that Israeli counter surveillance software they just launched last week after that shooting. That shit's pretty scary,
What
man.
are you talking about?
There's
What
a
is it?
software that they're launching that tracks all the
Oh,
tweets.
Palantir? Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about?
tracking everything that
Is that
people are
Palantir?
messaging and DMing. The way I understand it and the way they were saying it is they were celebrating it as a good thing, but I'm thinking anybody in any chat room or any of that, it's starting to get like very minority report.
So every
Right,
chat
you're-
room
if
Mhm.
you're saying something
in a
that could be
DM,
crazy,
Inappropriate,
or in a DM,
right.
chat room or anywhere on the internet or in Instagram or in a private chat. Supposedly, this is combing all of the internet,
else?
social media, everything to begin to assess mental health and predict analytics of seeing like if you could be a threat.
Exactly.
They would have been able to
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said.
we headed towards. It's going to be like the statistical algorithm says that you have a 70% chance of committing a violent crime today. You're arrested.
And again, who's in control of that? The slippery guy. The guy with, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Peter Thiel's a part of all that. But this is not a knock on Peter Thiel. No human should have the ability to have access to that information and decide who gets it and who doesn't.
Yeah.
No human should be able to decide whether or not you can connect to the hive mind of the entire human race and use a telepathic language. Israeli military creating ChatGPT-like tool using vast collection of Palestinian surveillance data.
Oh man, that's 5 in the morning. I should go to bed.
Is this
Roll out
Palantir?
here.
Is that what they're talking about?
I don't think it's Palantir because what I heard
So
is
what
it's
is-
an Israeli-backed
Okay, so
software
this is
system.
well. We should be real clear then, because I feel like I was talking about Palantir earlier, and we're gonna get sued. So this is a different thing. Israeli military surveillance agencies use a vast collection of intercepted Palestinian communications to build a powerful artificial intelligence tool similar to ChatGPT that it hopes
Beat you
to
with my
transform
wiffle bat.
into spying capabilities.
What?
Wow.
That's it?
Okay, according to sources familiar with the project, the unit began building the model to create a sophisticated chatbot-like tool capable of answering questions about people. It is monitoring and providing insights into the massive volumes of surveillance data that it collects. So that's what it's doing.
And I swear there was an article after that shooting that they're going to start using it and rolling it out here to proactively protect us against potential threats. And I was like, that shit's not good. That's not
No.
And I guarantee they're not going to say a peep about SSRIs. How about that? Brings it all back to this connection. I bet they won't bring that part up.
Yeah. Nope.
So you got all your surveillance. Did you notice anything? Did you guys notice anything? You notice
There
how
he goes. Oh, okay. It is
Trump
what you're talking
administration is silently employing Palantir to gather personal data of each American, raising privacy data misuse concerns. So this is a different thing. So what is it doing? So this is totally different than the Israeli thing, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I guess I got a mix.
No worries, but they're both kind of creepy. Gather personal data of American citizens from various federal agencies, sparking concerns over privacy and potential misuse of personal data. So what is it doing? How is it doing this? Does it say? Doesn't say how it works. Capabilities of data organization and analysis can potentially enable the merging of information from various agencies, thereby creating detailed profiles of American citizens. The Trump administration, but profiles curated by who, right?
It says citizen data from the government, including bank accounts.
Go back to that.
Fuck.
Guys. Who signed off on this? Is this already implemented? Let's say, okay, access extensive citizen data.
Ooh, the froggy.
Bank details, student debt, medical claims.
I mean, I already got one, but
disability status.
oh, I don't have a level 4.
Knock on your door. Don't like your tweets. Oh, by the way,
Golden? Ho ho ho. Nice.
got arrested when he went back to the UK. The guy who was on the podcast, who was a beloved comedy writer from the UK, who was talking about the trans issue and how insane it is, lost everything, lost his career, like getting sued constantly, went back to the UK and they arrested him. They met armed police, met him at the airport and arrested him for tweets, for 3 tweets. If you go to my Twitter, I retweeted it. I retweeted the story. Will you go to that?
That's scary because we were headed that way. I mean, we were fucking headed that way.
Yeah, 100%, and we still could be, you know?
Oh, man.
And when people say, oh, you voted for fascism, no, I don't think anybody should be in control of this country, okay? Any one person. But believe me, I don't. I don't think anybody's good at it. But I don't think you should let the same party that was propping up a dead man and was secretly doing shit behind the scenes, like using AutoPen to sign off on all kinds of executive orders that he didn't even fucking know what the details of were, which is explained we had that conversation with Mike Johnson, and he literally didn't remember signing it or thought it was something other than what it was. I'm not in favor of keeping that. That's all it is, folks. And I am in favor of R.F. Kennedy. And I think a lot of the stuff Trump believes in, like making America a robust place where manufacturing booms, bring back American jobs, are positive.
Whoa.
I don't like the Trump coin. I think that's fucking crazy. That's a crazy move. But is it illegal? I don't know. Yeah. Are they all corrupt? I think they are. Graham Linehan has been arrested at Heathrow by 5 armed police officers. His crime was these 3 posts. Look at these 3 posts. So click on it and we'll get to see. This is what he says: is that if a trans-identified male is in a female-only space, he is committing a violent, abusive act. Make a scene, call the cops, and if all else fails, punch him in the balls. Comedy writer, also his opinion. Can't have that in the UK. So this one says, a photo you can smell, and it's all these people that are protesting. I don't know what the context of this is. The other one is, I hate them, misogynists and homophobes, fuck them. So these 3 tweets are a problem. So the idea of misogynists and homophobes, you go, wait a minute, no. These are people that are LGBTQ2 plus. I know a lot of gay people that think that the trans movement is homophobic because it's saying you're not gay, you're a woman, and you're attracted to men, but you're a woman. Well, if you just leave those people alone and don't cut their dick off, they most likely will be gay, and there's data to show that. So a lot of gay people, including Tim Dillon, think of this movement.
Wait,
as
Tim Dillon's gay?
homophobic. I know that's so counterintuitive for other people. The idea of it being misogynistic. Well, how is it misogynistic? Well, what better way to harm women than to allow male predators to just tell you they're a woman? I'm not a wolf, I'm a grandma. Put on the bonnet, and now you're in the chicken coop. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And to say that you're protecting women, including trans women, is like, that's a new thing. That's a new thing that you invented without taking into account perverts. You didn't take them into account at all. You didn't take into account sex offenders and psychopaths and mentally ill people. You just said all trans women are women. Well, you just opened up the door and gave a fucking free pass to psychos to wear a dress. And if you don't want to admit that, that's misogynistic because you're not really protecting women. Because you think you by protect, well, we have to protect all women because trans women are women. No. That's a man.
Yeah.
That's a man, and you're using
It's
words,
so weird
you're
that
using
the whole world turned
sounds
this
you
way.
make with your mouth to distort biological reality. And the guise is that if you don't do that, that you're non-empathetic. Well, that's crazy talk. That's crazy. And so that tweet is correct. While being a good person.
Did he have to stay in jail or they let him go?
I don't know, man, but he had to go to the hospital because his blood pressure spiked. He went fucking crazy. He's a good guy, man. He's a sweetheart of a guy. He was super successful in the UK, and he's been attacked because a lot of these people that are, trans-identified, a lot of these people, they have a lot of mental health issues. Including that last school shooter who said that they were upset that they got tricked into becoming trans. They wanted to cut their hair off. They wanted to cut it off. They didn't want to give it the satisfaction of showing that they were right, that you weren't really a woman.
It's a weird topic because it's such a small
Fucker.
percentage of society that occupies so much bandwidth
Well, this is
in the public forum.
I think this is pure.
Damn, do I have one of those things?
Our interactions are being co-opted.
No.
It's great evidence that this is the success of the programs that like Yuri Bezmenov talked about in the 1980s, where they were talking about demoralization. Like the goal wasn't, the Russian goal in terms of what they were doing to America wasn't, let's make sure that Donald Trump wins, or let's make sure that Hillary Clinton wins. That was not the goal. The goal was to make people lose faith in all of these institutions, lose faith completely, demoralize them, keep them at each other's back, convince them all that they're racists and that they're homophobes, they're transphobes, they're this, they're that, they're Nazis and this. Keep them at each other's throats. That's why this thing has become so. But the problem is then kids get caught up in it because it becomes a part of the zeitgeist. It becomes a part of the culture. Kids wear bell bottoms. Kids do this. I'm non-binary. Like they just jump in. They jump in because they want to be a part of a group. They jump in because they want to be noticed, and then they get rewarded. You're amazing. You're amazing. No one ever told them they're amazing before. Next thing you know, they're getting hormones. Next thing you know, they're on this road. And maybe they were autistic, and maybe they're just weird with
That's
social
Furnace
interactions.
Lair.
And
Klein's dead.
You're tricking kids.
Gotta stop him
That's
before he
part of
merges
this.
with the beast.
Doesn't mean that there haven't historically been.
Oh, there's another one over there.
Feel like they're in the wrong body. I'm sure there have been. That is not this. This is a giant thing that's happening, and I think it's being manipulated. And I think a lot of it is it's social media manipulation, where a bunch of these people aren't even real people, and they're the most vocal and the most outrageous about it, and they're organized. You go to these rallies. Why does everybody have the same sign? Where'd you get your sign? Who made these signs? Why are they so good? Who's the sign guy?
Well, I do know all the counterintelligence stuff is that, China and a lot of these nations play the long game, right? They're in it
100%.
for a 20-year run. They're not trying
100-year run.
Yeah, it's
What's
like,
the best way to do that? Demoralize America.
Yeah.
What's the best way to do that? Like, pay off all these fucking doctors, prescribe as much medication as possible. We have a lot of money. Just pay off all these politicians. Let's just be as demonic as possible and try to ruin this amazing experiment in self-democracy. Yeah.
Motherfucker.
This amazing experiment in self-government that's really never been tried.
Oh. Come here.
It's a new thing,
Come here. Get up. Get up.
you know, and
Oh.
the same thing also coincides with
Taste my fish. Taste my fish. Oh. Taste my fish.
awesome and scary, and it's being used by scumbags and brilliant people. Everyone is all swimming around in this sea of ideas, and at least according to some people, 80% of it is bots.
That part's nuts.
That part's
Well, and then
nuts.
with chat, with large language model, I keep saying chat. With any large language model, I mean, man, when you interact with them, and it even
Damn, would I be able to?
You know, they know how to target us. They know like they know
They
how
know
to
everything
capture
about
my
you.
attention, and it's like now I'm like I showed Amanda a video the other day, and she's like, "Oh, that's AI," and I had to do like a double take, so I was kind of like half paying attention, but it was 100% all AI.
Damn,
generated.
ran out of bullets.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Like, what
This
are we
should be
gonna
Klein's
do
hiding place.
in another 18 months? Like, you're not gonna know what's real.
You're not gonna have any idea.
I see
what's
them
real.
doing ads for you all the fucking time. Shows up on my feed.
I know.
You, Huberman,
I get people to call me
and the
up.
only reason I know it's bullshit is because it's. I know you're not advertising for that, and I know Huberman's not advertising for that. And I'm like, I don't even know how they can legally get away with it. I mean,
They
I
can't.
think they get hammered, but
We go after them.
Yeah.
We have them taken down, but they sometimes they don't listen. And
they
there's
took
not a
one
lot
of our podcasts. It showed up on YouTube. It was one of our podcasts. I don't even remember what you were saying, but it was you breaking down something to do with Wastewell and how it's helped you. But it wasn't Wastewell. They plug in their like product,
Of course.
and I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers.
These motherfuckers, man, they do it with everything. They do it with some sleep apnea mouthpiece. They do it with all kinds of shit, man. There's like people, different rappers will have me saying that they're the best rapper ever. And they put it up on TikTok to try to get some clout. It's wild, man. We're in a wild time. But again, we're experiencing great change. And it doesn't go easy. And that's why there's so much chaos. But you can't lose your humanity in all of this, folks. This is the trap. And this is the trap that's being accentuated by social media. This tribal trap of thinking that the other side is evil, and to combat them, you have to be evil. And you have to be super mean and shitty because it's justified because those people are fascists or those people are Nazis. Like,
Got it.
It's all a trap.
I can tell you 100% industry. I witnessed it when I testified at the federal and the state level. Industry is attempting to separate and divide us.
Come on, dude.
Things into issues that aren't anywhere related.
Right.
This is about racism. This is about sexism. It's all a ploy to divide and conquer. Because if we're fighting, we can't fight industry. But the real evil empire is all these people pulling the strings and ramrodding agendas that are killing millions of
In the
Americans
monolith.
every year.
Yes. And they're doing it for
The
profit.
two of them
And that is probably
merged into
That's
one.
That's probably demonic. It's
like
I mean, that
too
the
late
idea
after
of what
all.
demonic
We couldn't save her.
thoughts are. What are evil thoughts?
Now it's
I
all
think
clear.
there's this constant battle
Klein
because that's
sacrificed
the only way you
everyone
get
to the
better.
transcendent as part of
That's
his
what
ritual.
I think
He
on a
and that
macro
beast have
level,
merged their
like, when
consciousness.
just thinking about life, right? How do you get strong? You get strong by working out. So you have to push yourself so you're weak. Like you can't do another push-up. And that's how you get strong at doing push-ups. It's the only way. The only way to get really good is to combat evil. You don't just get good.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to be good. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, everybody's good. Everybody's fine. Life is boring as fuck. You have to have some evil. And you have evil so that you realize that good is so much better. It's a so much better choice. But the choice is not just in, like, on a societal level. The choice is you on an individual. And there's moments in your
Wait,
life
what?
where you can decide whether you're gonna
Wait,
be
what?
good or are you going to be good? Or maybe you decide, like, hey, what I did, I don't
Intermediate.
I feel evil. I feel like I shouldn't have done that. And then you have to realize
Oh.
it's a battle. And this battle is what we're experiencing right now. But my fear is that there's a lot of us that are unaware of the actual
There it is.
impact of all of these other factors that aren't really people. these bots and corporations and propaganda and how they're like that fat guy arguing with you on that video. That's a gaslighting motherfucker. Like, I don't listen to you if you look like that, if you're telling me about health. Period. Like, get someone who looks like Huberman. Get someone who looks like he can fight in the UFC tomorrow. Right? I'll listen to that guy because he's
it's like you don't eat a meal from a
healthy.
skinny chef. Like,
Yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
the things people say. It's like, if you have an obese doctor who's not taking care of themselves, it's not an attack on obesity. It's hard for me to trust your decision making.
Hold on, though. Philip Franklin Lee's thin. And he's one of the best fucking chefs alive.
Yeah, that's true. Philip broke the mold.
He broke that mold. But he had to get thin. He got to get healthy.
Yeah, we helped him.
I know you did.
We helped him lose his
That's why I
shitload of
brought it
weight.
up.
I think he's lost 20 pounds, but then also he uncovered a bunch of toxins in his system. He posted about it the other day.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is from when I started to now.
Yeah.
And you can see it in his blood work. All of these different contaminants are now at like physiological normal levels where they were at spiked levels before. Like microplastics was one of them.
Yeah, microplastics are a big one.
Unlike
And
Newfoundland,
the
crystal
problem is it
transmit
goes
turn
deeper.
stardust sources
Most people have like a
and
plastic
alloys
fork,
ingots
like
into
a
various type
fucking
of
picnic
crystals.
fork sized amount
Literally
of
5% of
microplastics.
our brain by weight.
I mean,
That's insane. We're like, what's causing depression? Oh, I don't know. It could be this, or this, or this, or this.
So this goes back to what I was saying is going to happen to us. If I was, I mean, obviously, I got to say it. But I've already said it, but I just got to say it so you know I'm not Peter Thiel. I love us. I love humans. I love Peter Thiel. He's a nice guy. My interactions with him. I mean, I don't know if he's evil. I don't think he is. I think all of these factors that are destroying our endocrine system, making us less sexual, all these confusions, society and culture and chaos and war, all of it is leading us to this leap. That the only way to escape all this awful stuff that's on this side is to transcend. And you transcend by integrating with whatever the fuck we're creating right now. This Manhattan project that's going on right now between OpenAI and Grok, and then they're fucking sabotaging each other and stealing data. Do you hear about that guy that left Grok and he downloaded the entire Grok database and then fucking sold it to ChatGPT?
No.
Find that. So, yeah.
Wait, can we pause?
You gotta pee?
Yeah, I've been holding it. I've been chugging water.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead, pee and come back.
All right.
We'll find that.
All right.
The sweet relief of pee. But, so that's what I think is happening to us. I think we're becoming some new thing. And I think it's going to happen way quicker than we'd like it to be. While no engineer sold Grok to OpenAI, Elon Musk AI sued a former engineer, try saying that name, for allegedly stealing Grok's secrets before leaving xAI to join OpenAI. So Elon tweeted that he downloaded, xAI accuses Lee of downloading a large amount of confidential information and the full code base for Grok shortly before and after his resignation.
wait, what? Why don't I have the adrenaline one?
The stolen code database to OpenAI servers. So that they're doing that, and then also I think OpenAI had a situation when they believe that Chinese Chinese scientists had access to their data. Like something happened where there was some sort of a breach of security, and they're pretty sure that China got access to all the stuff that they're doing. So, see if you can find that story. Because I just butchered that.
All of the AI
but they're,
stuff.
of course, doing that. Of course they're doing that. Why would they not do that? If they've done that with everything else, why would they not do that? OpenAI takes down ChatGPT accounts linked to state-backed hacking and disinformation. State-backed threat actors from a handful of countries are now using
Fucker's gonna
ChatGPT
go
for illicit purposes,
down.
from malware refinement to
You're
employment
going
scams
down.
and social media disinformation campaigns. OpenAI said this week. Jesus Christ! Of course, they're using ChatGPT to scam people. Of course.
I just look at all the ways it's going to impact society,
back to
from
that.
jobs and everything. We're going to live in the craziest of times.
Go back to that. Look at it, stirring the social media pot. OpenAI said it banned dozens of accounts it saw using ChatGPT to bulk generate social media posts consistent with the activity of a covert influence campaign or operation. Many of the China-based accounts issued prompts in Chinese and sought responses in English on a variety of topics, including the shutdown of U.S. aid, various sides of divisive topics within U.S. political discourse, backlash towards Taiwan, Pakistani activist who has publicly criticized China's investments in Balochistan. That sounds like something that
Why are they level 60?
social media comments in English, Chinese, and Urdu that were found being posted on TikTok, X, Reddit, Facebook. We know that China has AI, Russia has AI. There's Meta AI, there's Google Gemini, there's Grok, there's XAI, there's ChatGPT, there's OpenAI. There's a ton of them. There's Perplexity. There's a whole bunch of different AIs that are constantly right now in competition to see who creates God.
Whoa, and so what you were saying earlier about the evolution of humanity and the direction we're headed, AI and that component, and there's that technological component, but there's also all the shit that comes off of the person and the direction we're headed. And we can now edit your genes, and I could edit your genes with CRISPR. Change, so essentially we take a male sperm, a female egg, we create a clone, and we literally replicate that clone multiple times down the chain. And we can now edit in roughly 20 points of IQ. So in CRISPR, you can edit somebody's intelligence by 20 IQ points. That's the difference between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Albert Einstein. Now, what if you do that 3, 4, 5 generations down? You would be able to create superhumans. I don't know, but that's what it said in what is it? The gene editing. No, the difference, the big delta is just 20 IQ points to be Albert Einstein.
Right. What's Albert at?
I don't know.
Why is this guy so strong? Whatever. You're going down, dude.
And the direction we're headed, and how you would be able to essentially. And they're editing genes to create super intelligent humans.
They were saying they're inoculated. And they just accidentally got smarter.
And so then the problem becomes, go back to like ADHD in schools and stuff in the 80s, when everyone starts creating, little superhumans, and everyone's gonna look back, almost back to Demolition Man, what we're talking about. You don't create a baby in a test tube because you can edit out all the gene defects and all the issues in your genetics and optimize that child's success at living a healthy, happy life and minimizing chronic disease. But spies here, we can make them twice as smart.
Of course.
And then everyone's gonna do that.
Of course. And then
And if you don't, China does, Russia does. So then where does America have to do? We have to counterpunch.
the thing is, they're probably early. And the thing is, like, China's so advanced with so many different technologies right now that most people are just not aware. You're not aware. And someone was describing it about how, God, I wish I remembered the podcast it was on, but this guy was talking about how essentially what goes on in China is, say if they want to get into solar panels, if, like, they start
Chit.
get involved and say, we want you guys to make the most awesome solar panels. And then they have this Shark Tank of people competing to see who develops the best solar panel company. And only the best ones are going to survive. And it's all funded by the government. It's a very smart idea. And through that, they've developed the best drones, definitely the best electric cars. Out of nowhere, China has the best electric cars. Like, by a mile. Like, by a country mile, dude. There's nothing in America. Even if you have, like, one of those,
We got the best American muscle cars.
we definitely do. But that's a different thing, right? But when it comes to technological innovation, they're way ahead of us. So if they're ahead of us with that, if they run the same game on AI while we're all battling it out with each other and stealing each other's data, they're probably running that same game over there. And if they really did steal all the ChatGPT database, did China have access to ChatGPT, to OpenAI's database? Was it speculated that there was some sort of a breach.
I was reading too that China's beating us in the arms race of energy infrastructure to be able to actually implement this.
Not that, they're running around on AI talking about the problem of climate change. We need to do this, we need to do that. While they're making fucking shitloads of coal factories in China. It's like they're playing this multi-level game. And
Come on, roll over.
hotspots, all the things that really target like gay marriage, prayer in schools. And you think it's organic. You think people are really fighting in the street for all these things. It's not. Other countries want us doing it. Country. One of the wild things that Representative Luna said when she was here, one of the wild things she said, there's a lot of problems they don't want to solve so that they can fundraise against them. And I was like, that is so dark, and I believe it. I never thought about it that way.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I think there's a few of those things out there that, you know, it's dark, but I think it's true. I think they don't want solutions. They want to keep their job.
Reloaded.
The biggest thing that I think about is I see just in my sector of healthcare how much AI is going to impact workplace infrastructure and just reality. Like at our pharmacy, we have almost 300 people and we're looking at this software. I needed to expand and hire more people.
Come on, bro. I'm never gonna fucking finish if he keeps fucking getting his.
And not have to retire. And then we just get to promote the people who are already with us. But at what point does the AI just get to a point where it's doing all of our jobs? Like all of our jobs. And it will. Even in his own blog, he's talking about 8 years ago how we don't understand that this is going to replace almost all jobs in America, everywhere in the world.
Who's that dude who's viral?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
What is his
Fuck.
Yeah. No.
And candidly,
Stephen Bartlett. So he was having a conversation with someone where he was saying that one of his friends, he knows someone who's like a AI guy, and privately, he talks very different than he does publicly. Publicly, he's talking about, oh, it's gonna be amazing, but in private, he's like, this is gonna be crazy, and no one's ready for it.
Oh, come on, dude.
Yeah. I
and
think
then the humanoid robots. You watching all that? 'Cause
Yeah.
they're evolving quick.
that's gonna be interesting, but I think that's a side project. That's like a distraction. The real thing is going to be the bizarre connection that we have with this ultimate intelligence. It's going to be cost-driven. When you're literally plugged into the matrix, like the physical, like sex robot that everybody dreams of. There's going to be a few losers who like live in the hills and wear overalls and fucking kill squirrels all day, and then they have this sex robot that come home and fuck. Great. I think most people are going to integrate, and it's going to be just like cell phones. Like most people, on the lot, and be like, I don't even carry your cell phone. I fucking.
Hey, you're saying that you have one of the most interesting, colorful lives. Imagine the person who's just grinding and showing up to their job every day that they hate.
Yeah.
They make a mistake. They already are mistaken in virtual world. Like, even kids. Like, it's different with kids.
Witness me.
Hang out with their friends like online. Like, they don't go like have to ride over. Like we rode bikes over to our friend's house. They would all hang out and play whatever like Roblox or whatever it is with their friends.
Yep.
In chat rooms.
Hey, I used to do that. I used to get online and play with my friends. Yeah. What's fun? And when right now, you're dealing with just looking at a screen. When you're actually in the game, that's interesting.
Witness me.
Because already these
Die, 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 die.
But they're
Oh, hell yeah.
virtual reality, the virtual reality headset. Sorry, MetaQuest, dude, pretty fucking incredible, pretty fun, pretty exciting, you know. And once they figure out haptic feedback, like legitimate haptic feedback, especially if there's some sort of interface, if it doesn't have to be even installed, if something that just clamps to your forehead.
What was that?
And gets a reading on your brain the same way.
What?
Your phone, it opens up because you do that stupid thing, the Face ID, where you like program the image of your phone on an iPhone. It just recognizes you. Oh, hello, Brigham. Like it knows your brain signals, and it's like, close your eyes and count back from 10, 9, 8, and then you see the whole consciousness sink down, and now all of a sudden you're in a warehouse. Choose your armor. Like, fuck yeah. And you put an armor on.
That sounds fucking cool.
Explain to you what the weapons do and what zombies are the most dangerous. Like, okay. And then they just fucking open the door.
I'm not gonna lie, it
dude.
does sound fun as long as we don't all, die.
It's gonna be very fun, but there's always gonna be some cunt that's controlling the entire system. And this is why you have to have everything that it's got to be decentralized. Everything has got to be like a blockchain. It's got to be like Bitcoin. It has to be like that. It can't be. There's a group. Once it gets to this insanely potent computing power, where it's a life form, you can't have anybody in
Think how
control.
addictive people. Think of the addiction and the dopamine response to social media.
Yeah.
And multiply that times
a
infinity.
billion. Yeah, times
I mean,
billions.
we're fucked.
You're fucked because regular life, like if you're working at a deli, you know, you're just making tuna fish sandwiches and hanging out with the boys and you know,
hanging with the boys.
And you get out of there and you're a knight. You're a knight, and you're battling with demons, and you're fucking riding a horse in Game of Thrones. Like, really? Like, that's totally possible.
Yeah.
It's not even that far away, because what you can see visually
fuck?
now when they do these video games that are available today, the Unreal Engine is so good, dude.
Yeah, I'm using it right now.
That all it would have to do is be virtual and then figure out how to emulate movement and how to get you to feel like you're moving. And that's probably just manipulating some part of your brain that it's.
Oh, come on, man.
Figures out what, you know, maybe you have to shave
I
your
believe
head.
all this stuff because even Elon on here, he was talking about how we can help you see in infrared.
Yeah.
Like through this technology, we can create the impulse signals or whatever in the brain that allow you to see in infrared.
Did you see those night vision contact lenses they've created?
No.
Bro.
No.
They've created night vision contact lenses.
Shit,
See,
I want some.
James.
I want a pair.
Fucking bananas.
crazy.
Contacts. Put them in, and now you're a wolf.
But then the same thing we're talking about with CRISPR and gene editing.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing when everyone has an implant.
Oh,
and
shit.
I can download jujitsu in my brain. You're at a disadvantage
Yes.
if you don't have the implant.
Well,
and
not
then
only
how
that,
can you compete?
You can't. You're going to have to join. These contact lenses give people infrared vision even with their eyes shut. With their fucking eyes shut. That's nuts. New way of seeing infrared light without the need for chunky night vision goggles. Researchers will be the first contact lenses to convey infrared vision. The devices work even when people have their eyes closed. Holy fuck, dude. Now imagine when if you're blind and they say, Brigham, we can actually give you eyesight, but you're going to have like super eyesight. Like your eyesight will be so people are eventually going to get their eyeballs plucked out. And like, I'm tired of wearing readers.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in and get the new eyeballs. And derived eyeballs.
You'll be able. I mean, they even
eyeballs.
said you would be able to have eagle eye mode, and he was breaking all that down, where you could see at a high resolution at a distance.
Yeah.
Geothermal, like
I don't think you can stop it. And this is the thing about people. Oh God, you're so cynical. I'm not. I love people. I love people and I love life.
Yeah.
I think this is happening whether we like it or not. And I don't necessarily know that it's a bad thing. I think.
I don't know if that's true, but James Cameron, is that a fake tweet? I reposted it because I'm a dumbass. But it was James Cameron said, I warned you guys 30 years ago. And I reposted that. It was all over media, so I'm like, I don't know if it's real or not, but it's funny.
He's a clever guy. He probably did post that. He's right. So was the really fucking scary thing? You know who was right? The fucking Unabomber was right. That was the Unabomber's whole manifesto, was that technology is going to kill the human race.
You said I put this on the tweet.
That's fucking true.
You didn't listen. Sure. Look, I mean, you've got it.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
that's even better.
Have you seen the new Alien on Hulu?
I haven't watched it.
I like it.
I'm on episode 2.
But think about that,
It's good, I
too.
know.
You're a physical avatar, right?
know,
You're terminally ill. What if we can take your consciousness and put it into a body? Or there's not even there's just like a humanoid biologic thing.
Yeah.
Which is what...
And it has to
when
be
you
full
talk to
grown
the
even though
UA
you're a child.
Yes.
Because it doesn't grow. It's weird.
I like the angle they took. I
Yeah.
thought it was really good.
And it brings the aliens back to my favorite kind of aliens, which you don't see a lot of them, and they're scary as fuck and they're really clever. The problem with James Cameron's version of aliens is now all of a sudden they're easy to shoot, and everyone's just gunning them down. You're killing tons of them.
Yeah.
The first alien was hiding all the time. Like, you didn't see it until it wanted to be seen.
Yeah. Then you go into the den and shit.
Yeah.
Plant eggs and everything.
See the dumbass. Yeah, the first one was like creepier. It was a hunting alien. It was like going after people and hunting them.
And the other one's Prometheus. That plays into everything we're talking about. People hated Prometheus, a lot of people, but I liked it.
I liked it.
When he literally asked his creator, the guy who invented the humanoid robot, and he asked
The
him,
fuck?
what makes you more important than me? And he said, because you will die, you will wither away, you will do all these things, but I will be here, and I won't lose my consciousness. I won't lose my, all this stuff. He's like, he's gaining like consciousness in the moment, and he's asking, and that's the shit where it's like, dude, like we keep making things smarter and smarter and smarter. What is consciousness? We don't even know what it is.
Well, that's the interesting thing about these movies, like the Alien movies in particular, especially the television show, because the television show, different than the movies, adopted
Miss.
a 1970s
And
framework
that was my
for
fault.
technology
The second one wasn't.
2120.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it still
Like
has the shitty little green screens and all that. Yeah.
Everything's shitty. The screens are shitty. The televisions, they're like regular old school TVs that you have to slap to get to work.
I
So
remember.
they have like this weird, and then there's the robot thing. You know, the robot guy who's in every one of them, like synthetic robot.
Yeah.
Why not just send all synthetic robots? Why do you have any people on this fucking thing?
This fucking thing is so sensitive now.
You have aliens out there.
Well, then you go back to like what a lot of the UAP whistleblowers are saying, that because I've gotten to meet a lot of these guys too, and they start saying that Greys are synthetic biologics that are almost like hive mind avatars. And again, I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying it's interesting, and like a lot of the stuff that's been in folklore forever now starts to make more and more like theoretical framework sense for why and how you would navigate some new environment.
Especially,
and why you'd leave bodies and not give a shit. If there's any truth to any of it.
If there's any, but that's the problem. We're both saying if, because neither one of us have seen an alien.
No.
Unfortunately. You know?
But I've talked to enough really smart people that you start going, man. And I know I've tried to get Jamie to chime in. He's always...
Jamie goes back and forth with it just like I do. We have conversations about it all the time. Don't you go, but where are you at right now?
This week, probably most bullshit.
I wouldn't mind having an avatar, but I always said it was supposed to be in that way. To have an avatar.
You would agree with that? We both go back.
I go back and forth, but it's mainly...
For example, you create an avatar, send it to space to mine. You lay down in your bed and you connect to it remotely and mine for your, 8-hour shift or whatever. Come back out, you power down, blah, 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 boom, boom. And you remote. You link up to it, basically.
Diagnose its ego.
That should be the future.
And I go, it's all bullshit if it was real. But there is a lot of kinks in the armor, and if just statistically, I'm not saying that little green men are visiting, but there's statistically like a high probability that there's intelligent life out there. And then statistically, did that life have a head start? And did it reach intelligent life?
Right, and did it escape whatever the problems are with natural disasters that we experience? Because one of the things, if there is a reset in our society, it's usually because of an asteroid impact or a supervolcano blows off or a tsunami wipes out a city. The society has to have developed technological.
I don't remember where it was at.
Help negate all those things. And so, wouldn't a society like that be able to live in the ocean? And if that's the case, maybe that's what's going on. Because it seems like there's a lot of activity that takes place in a place where explored 5%, and that's the oceans. And there's so many sightings of these transmedium crafts, including video of things going into the water with no splash.
Dude, did you see the fucking new video that they came up with? The size of a football field underwater.
Today. So, you know, if I saw that today, I'd be like, well, if that's from 2025, who fucking knows about that? That you could have made that on ChatGPT.
And that's where I'm going. You talk to.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. If I had enough money, I'll buy my own fucking nuclear sub and build a fucking civilization underwater. So, and I always live next to it. So if shit hits the fan, then there you go.
I mean, it would have been moving
Survive.
5,000 miles per hour and been transmedium.
Right.
Literally 20 years ago.
And the idea that someone's inside of that is ridiculous. Like, you would be jello. If it's a traditional propulsion system, which, by the way, it didn't have any signatures of a traditional propulsion system. There's no, like, heat blasting
The
out the
craziest
back.
thing he said, though, which I didn't fully understand on the podcast, is when he kept saying it knew our set point, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's not programmed in anywhere.
No.
That's just in the pilot's head.
Yeah.
So how did it know the set?
Did you hear what Gary Nolan said about it?
No, I haven't listened to that one. I'm going to listen to it, though.
He said that the amount of force that it would take, so this thing is, let's just say this thing weighs 2 tons, which is like a car. You know, like a lot of cars are like 4,000 pounds. So this thing weighs 2 tons, and it went from, you know, sea level to 50,000 feet above sea level in less than a second. So whether or not that's even physically possible, the amount of energy that it would take to generate to move 4,000 pounds that quickly would be more than the total energy generated by the United States in a year.
It's nuts.
And it has to do instantaneously.
But that's when you start seeing all these things, and then you layer in the Jesse stuff and all the shit, all the work Jesse's done, and his deep dives into history and FOIA documents and disclosures, and you just start going, what the hell?
Yeah, you go, what the hell? But it's fun. And that's how I treat it. I treat it like it's fun because I really don't know. I love the Tridactyl mummies. I'm fascinated by it, and I think Jesse's, I think he deserves, you know, if journalism was really what it could have been today, if they had just sort of accepted independent journalism and celebrated it instead of saying like only corporate sponsored mainstream gigantic journalism is real journalism, which is obviously the opposite of what's true, Jesse would get an award. If the world was just, he would get an award. He would get an award for that particular show that he did on those Tridactyl mummies, because that is crazy. When they did those scans and you see the ligament, and guys like Gary, who is a legitimate scientist, published at Stanford, who's looking at that thing and saying, this doesn't make any sense. Like, this looks like a real creature. Everything is in place. We don't know what it is. Is that a genetic anomaly? Like, we have to study that. This is a crazy opportunity to study. And these folks just have it in Peru. Just have a few of them laying around the fetal position. These fucking aliens with 3 toes and 3 fingers. And it seems to be a real body. And Jesse stuck his neck out and went down to Peru and filmed these things. They did these medical scans on them so you could see what's underneath all that, you know, white tissue looking stuff. Is this just sticks and
you look at it and it seems too convenient and too crazy, but then when you watch him systematically break down.
There it is. I knew there was one here.
Different people given their lens, and then you see these MRIs, and you're like, you didn't make those hands.
No.
Like, these would have been.
Not only that, 1,700 years ago you didn't make it. That's the weird thing. And how about the one of them that has a fetus inside?
Wow.
And the name of the region did he say the name of it? He says it in the documentary, but the name of the region is like, I don't even know, insemination and something, or I'm like, what?
Dude, those are probably aliens. And that's probably a form of human. That's probably what we're going to find out. If they do a DNA, if someone lets them do DNA tests on those things, and there's DNA to extract, and they run a sequence on it, I bet we find out that we are like them.
Yeah.
I bet they're the overlords. The weird thing
Smart.
with Peru stuff is not just the mummies. It's the ancient architecture. It's Machu Picchu. You know, it's all these like really unexplained, enormous stones that were placed in incredible ways where everything is like tongue and groove, like where it would respond well to earthquakes, like a technology to avoid earthquakes with massive monolithic stones. Where you look at it and you're like, how did you move this? Like, who did this? Why did you have all these art projects where you could only see them from the sky?
Yeah.
Like, what is?
Oh yeah, all the
the
there's
Nazca
so much
lines?
crazy
What is
stuff.
that?
Yeah.
And why do you have ancient artwork of these three-fingered, three-toed creatures? Well, you have artwork from 1,000 years ago of these things. Like, it seems like they were a real thing living in that area. And they were probably flying around. And they were probably building Pumapunku and Machu Picchu. They probably were us. It's probably a version of us. Like,
That's what I think.
Neanderthal was alive, and then it wasn't. And then we're like, well, we didn't even know that Neanderthal was a thing until we discovered, oh, it looks like it interbred with us. Oh, it was a part of us. So now we know that there's a Neanderthal. But 500 years ago, no one had any idea. No one had any idea that there was like an ancient man that was
I think
bigger than us,
I think he even
stronger
broke
than
that
us.
down too. I think isn't it like 70% of the bipedal
was that sound?
species that we've uncovered?
you call my name?
Like
What the hell was that?
our relatives have all been discovered in the last like 60
Is it just me?
years.
Yeah, and a bunch
Did
of
you
them
see a
been
little
discovered in the
girl
last
around the
decade.
corner there?
Yeah,
You know,
it's
just
so
like
crazy.
the last few years. Just recently we were talking about that Homo juliens, this enormous man that they found, a huge.
Oh,
man.
shit.
Something's coming after us.
There might have been 7-foot tall
Do you
Supermen.
know where we are now?
Like, and
That
then
shit gave me goosebumps.
They catch us.
hair-looking fucking
Hell
giants
nah.
that you like figure out what these things actually
Stay
look
away
like.
from it.
Why
Then
is
look
it so
for
crazy
opportunities
that
to
there might have
fight
been a
back.
version of us that looked like that? Why is it
Don't
so
stop.
crazy if we
Keep
are
going.
so soft, so
What about the
intelligent?
metal?
We're so intelligent and we're so advanced in comparison to them. Well, if that thing
It
is
scared
more
me.
advanced and more intelligent than us, it's going to be just like when you compare us to gorillas. It's going to be
Shatter Main.
It's going to be comparable. It's going to be frail, and that's what they look like. Just
know you're the
frail
one who did all the
super
running,
nerds,
but I feel like
giant
I might
heads,
spread
and
myself.
fucking medical implants. What's that thing in that thing's neck? Like, what is that?
It's going to get interesting too. I know that Corbell and Knapp are.
I found
they got,
4 weapons.
Out of this creepy place
Any
already.
witnesses that are going to testify this time?
Whoa.
If it all happens.
The weird thing is the Varginha look exactly like those things.
Yeah.
3 toes, 3
Yeah.
fingers. And it was like this.
The black one.
What
Was that the black?
Well, it's like a purplish.
Yeah, it was like a
purplish
black,
color.
the one that
yeah.
smelled, and then the guy died who touched
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
There's all this like documented stuff that
And
occurred.
they smell like sulfur,
Yeah.
just like demons. It's probably what they were trying to describe. I mean, if you had
Well,
some guy who
Representative
came
Luna
down,
said multiple times interdimensional, which is I thought was interesting.
yeah, but she didn't have an explanation. Like, what do you mean? How do you know that? Why are you saying that so confidently? Like,
Yeah.
you'd have to tell me. Like, how does something traverse a dimension? What's your theory?
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Like, where is it? Is it in a physical form somewhere else? Like another place? And it comes here? Like, what do you mean? You know, because there's a dimension of sound, there's a dimension of, like, 3 dimensions. It's like, you know, space and time and all that. We kind of have an understanding or grasp of it. So if there's a 7th dimension, 8th dimension, does it just take a bus? And get
What the fuck? And we're only on the
Is it
3rd
here,
dimension?
is it this dimension and that dimension?
Man.
Like, what is it? What happens to its form over
I'm
there?
barely getting my grips in the 4th and the 5th dimension. I just the 7th and 8th dimension.
A 3-dimensional being in a 3-dimensional world, and your shadow on the ground is a 2-dimensional shadow of a
Sounds like
3-dimensional being
a
in
Madonna
a
song.
3-dimensional world. I'm like, what?
I'm a material girl. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know, man, but it's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun to talk about, and I'm glad there's guys like Jesse out there making awesome videos. And
Right.
about this one, I think it's one of the most important because it throws a giant monkey wrench into it's all nonsense. Because as soon as you see the scans of that thing's body, everyone should pause. Everyone should put their newspaper down and go, "What the fuck are we doing about this?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing about this? That might be what everyone's been talking about. That might be the thing that genetically engineered.
That's open now?
That
Fuck
might
it.
be it.
I'll just finish this one and go to bed.
We're
6:30,
bringing back
1 in the
fireworks,
morning.
Then
Bring back an alien.
yeah.
They're probably already here. That's probably just one that we found. You know, they're probably here and they don't want to be seen anymore because we're assholes. And then one day we'll.
That's
be
what I
assholes.
think.
All right, brother.
Dude,
Let's wrap this up.
thank you for having me on.
2.5 hours.
This is the longest one we've done.
Yeah, but it's awesome. I love you.
I
Appreciate you
appreciate you,
very
man.
much. Appreciate what you're doing. It's an awesome company.
I gotta go to the bathroom too anyway, so give me a second.
For all you're doing to
Let me-
try to
I don't wanna
give people a better
come back and I'm dead.
understanding of how fucking incredibly corrupt this whole system really is.
Thank you for having me on and giving us a voice.
My pleasure,
Appreciate
my
it.
brother.
Thanks,
Bye, everybody.
Oh yeah.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Are we doing good?
We're rolling.
Love it.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
It's about time.
Yes, thank you very much for being here. This is an honor.
It is same here, man. Same here.
How does a person like you fit your life into a book? Because your career is so wide and so long. You've had so many experiences from the Commodores in the 70s. The 70s, still rocking. 70s.
So, Joe, let me tell you something. It really accounts for. I'll tell you the joke of the book first.
Okay.
Right. I'm probably the only guy in the world that had a book with probably 1,000 pages in it. I turned 1,000 pages in. They said, "What the hell is this?" And I said,
War and Peace.
War and Peace. And I said, and I've got some more stories. So for the first time in the history of Harper's,
Dude, no wonder I'm kind of chilly.
no more stories. We don't
Because of the computer, you know.
the stories out.
We all know it's
So to answer your question,
it's a oven.
my life story
Those
in the
is
book,
those that have
I had to find the
they
one,
built their own PCs.
you know, humorous in certain cases.
We know that they're ovens. My office is really toasty, warm. And went to the bathroom. Fuck, it's been raining. It's still fucking sprinkling right now. And it's fucking cold. Huh? 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 Accept. Accept. It's freaking cold out there, bro, and I gotta go do some overtime later today in the afternoon. Why am I running? On the other one that I was playing, the male version. I don't know how I got a drill and a saw. But it's in phase 1 and on novice. Phase 1, novice. Already at, forgot what level. 38? But I did learn something that I do appreciate is the cosmetics. See, I have it here. Oh, it's a the gravity set. Huh? Oh. Oh shit.
Fun, buddy.
Just gonna finish this one and try to get some seeds. I'm not tired. If you haven't tried Method and Blue, I'm not telling you something that I'm not using. I feel very mentally clear, very away. Right now, I'm barely getting like a little bit sleepy. But come on, I've been gaming 8, 9, 10, 11 hours straight. Just gonna go do my overtime and come back to game again. I mean, there's really not that much to do in the world. Let me really think about it. Make money. Already making money. When I go to bed and sleep, making money. And that's how it should be.
A game of hide and seek, huh?
I know, you were hiding. I remember I raged one time from this precise place. Dang it, I just remember something. In 30 days, I have to take a trip to Belize. It's not far from here. It's like if I take the train and then the bus, about 4.5 hours. I don't trust that train, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take a flight. The flight itself is really short. Should be there like an hour. But all the loading, packaging, waiting, boarding, onboarding, same as 5 hours, but I don't really like Belize because I don't know. I already got one. I just don't. I mean, it's a good place to make money. I'll give you that much. I don't know why the Latin American people from Central, South, even Mexico, why do they want to go to the United States? You can easily go to Panama or Belize. Whoa, I thought I was going to die. And make a ton of money. I don't really like it. But most likely I probably will be moving to Panama. What the hell? I honestly didn't see him. So yeah, I probably will be moving to Panama because I've been thinking, where should I move? Where should I move? Where should I move? And his true adventures. Okay. I think oh shit. It worked. What level am I now? $45. Well, I did say I was gonna end here, so wait. Am I able to go there? Whatever. I'll be back a little bit later. I just bought these Eskimo type these Eskimo type sorry. I bought these Eskimo type sheet set, I guess you can call them. And oh my god, dude. It's pretty much what you would like to have anywhere, I hope. It's made of wool, linen, and I think a bit of nylon, which is a good combination, to be quite honest. To be quite honest, it is a good combination. I have no idea how that combination works. To be quite honest, in a simplicity of it gets you to a certain warmth, but you're not hot. And of course, the wool in there hugs you, and it's just so fucking hard to get up. I honestly have problems with that. Up, fuck. I don't know. I kind of like the slutty look. Let's go for the slutty look. I like that slutty look. You can't. You don't have to imagine. Oh my god, no, they're white. That's the only reason why I like it. So yeah, I just look back. I see the little pillow that I always put in my back right here to just keep me warm. That I take it off because it keeps me hot, so on and so forth. And I'm thinking, oh my god. Oh, I can make them now? Oh, no. And boy, do I have issues with them, man. 1, 2, and what are you? No, not you. You. 1, 1. Dude, that freaking what the hell? A lunar one. Can't put oh. Anyway, so I have a fucking problem because once I lay down on that comfy ass, it's so comfy, dude. I honestly, man, I've always wanted to have like a little fireplace, Viking style, basically.
Incoming transmission.
And we all know those sheets are kind of expensive to get. You know what I mean? Where's the new one I got? There it is. A golden one, yo. They're all happy. Their moods are good. Cool. Anyways, where's my wolf? There he is. I was gonna put a window, but it's gonna ruin the aesthetics. Now, let's see here. G. I mean, at least that. Oh. Locked. What are you guys doing here? Whatever. Hope you're having fun. Cool, I got most of it. Oh, fuck, I'm stuck. Currently lock. Lock, 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 lock. Lock, 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 lock. All right. Oh crap, another one? Facility supply workers use and crafting time. AP ammo? More. Use 30% more. Well, I mean, I'm a cook, so I'll go with that and see what they offer later on. All right, we're gonna call it a day, and yeah. Have a good night, guys. Remember to keep leveling up in IRL because there's a PvP out there.